Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Thursday. One more day, and we're done with this week. Welcome, everybody. Again, we are back here looking into the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Where is he? What is going on, guys? We have a new piece, as of what we looked at last night, the dispatch audio. I have a new piece of that to look at today. That came out, and in an interview with Chris and Katie Proudfoot, Fox Friends, dropped this morning. We're going to be reviewing both of those. Thank you all for joining me as we do this. And as I'm about to say, guys, let's get this dang show on the road. Here we go. What up? What's going on, everybody? How are you today? What is new? What it is. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you here. Great to see you today. Hope you're all having a wonderful start to your day. Hope you all had a wonderful night last night after I left you guys. And again, guys, we are back here on the search for Sebastian Rogers. We need to bring this child home. So many things we've seen and heard over the past couple weeks. We last night covered a piece of audio that came out from dispatch when the call went in throughout the search part. We have some new stuff today, to look at in regards to the dive and stuff like that in the neighborhood search. Dispatch was talking back and forth. There's a new interview that came out with Chris and Katie Proudfoot again. Through Fox and Friends. It's very hard to find. I'll put it that way. Very hard to find. So I'm going to do the best I can with that for you guys. The best copy I could find. Mama Bear was doing everything she could to get that together. So she's going to be joining us here shortly as well. And of course, I'm going to see about opening things up here to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on things as well, as we try to figure out where Sebastian is and why. That's so very important so that we can bring this child home. So thank you again for everybody joining us today and supporting this since the beginning with this to bring this child home. Amongst all the other cases that we have been covering, this one has been something else, guys. I'll tell you that much for sure. So thank you guys for being here today. Speaking of which, let's see who is here with us right now. We got Miss Delta in the house. And I am late. I noticed that. I was in the Discord talking to Mama Bear and said, hey, I'm supposed to be live. So my apologies, guys. I didn't realize it was as late as it was. Didn't mean to make you wait. But here we are now. Thank you, Miss Delta. Appreciate you very much. Looks like Lou Hellickson's in the house. Thank you for joining us today. Shane Nolan, thank you for coming back. Appreciate you. War Eagle, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Miss Victoria, welcome back. Great to see you, Bonnie. Bonnie, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you very much. Evie Marie, welcome back to you. Groot, what's going on? Good to see you. Jelly Beans back in the house. Good to see you, Jelly. Good to have you. Jilly, good to have you. Sorry. SWTC, Mr. Steve, how are you today? How was your day, my friend? Great to see you. Brady B, always here. Good to see you, Brady. Thank you for joining me today. Here, Romino, welcome back. Good to have you. Good to see you. Miss Gianna, thank you for joining us today. Great to see you all. Let's see. That's awesome. Thank you, Bonnie. Doodlebug, here's my Doodle in the house. Good to see you, Doodle. Thank you for being here with us today. I appreciate you very much. Tiffany Carroll from Wisconsin. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you guys. If you want to, you can throw in the chat where you're tuning in from. It's been a while. I love seeing where you guys are coming from. Really, really is interesting to me. So if you choose to, you want to, you're welcome to. I really appreciate it. If not, no worries, no big deal. Deb Wilkes, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Mr. Jesse Shul coming from Thailand. That's awesome, my friend. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you so much. It's been a minute. Let me see. Cindy Curve, welcome back. Good to see you. Good to have you. Tell Al I said, hey. CL, welcome back to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Virginia Wolf, welcome back, brother. Good to see you today. Tina B, always a pleasure. Good to have you here. Miss Elisa Vallejo, welcome back to you. Great to see you again. Miss Tracy, again, thank you for joining us. Let's see. Janet Riff, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. And last but not least, the Cluminati is in the house. Welcome, guys. Great to have you here as well. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Thank you all so very much for being here. Oh, sorry, there's a couple more. Miss Jean Anderson's in the house. Teresa S., welcome back to you. The Karma Police, welcome back. Great to see you. Spooky Paws, what's going on with you? Good to see you today. Thank you for being here. ANES 24, welcome back. I think I did it right. Good to have you here. Again, as always, the Misfit Pariah. Thank you for being here, Miss Kimber. Welcome back. Good to see you. Nope, not today. 62. Miss Boone, oh my goodness gracious. Welcome. Good to see you today. Good to have you. Big Ohio Al, hello, my friend. Great to have you here today, as always. Peppermint Tea, great to see you again. Thank you for joining us. Mama Bear's in the chat here. She will be here just shortly, guys. Nat Cat, welcome back, all the way from South Africa. That's awesome. Brandy B says, Crap Hole, Arkansas. Welcome, 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 Brandy. Tim, a.k.a. TQ Logic, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. Jackie Bushable, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Let's see here. Virginia Wolf coming out of Pennsylvania. What's up, neighbor? Good to see you. Deb Wilkes says Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Welcome, welcome. The Boom. I think it's the Boom or Boom from Virginia, North Carolina state line. Welcome. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Jody's coming from North Carolina, Kings Mountain. That's so very awesome. And of course, Kimber is very busy Tennessee lately. Welcome, Kimber. Jilly Bean says Northwest suburb of Chicago. Welcome, Jilly. Of course, Miss Pamela Polly Pepper from over the pond in the UK. Always awesome to have you guys here. Willow's mama from Wisconsin. Welcome to you. Janet Riff coming out of West Virginia. Mr. Steve's coming from Raleigh, North Carolina. That's awesome. Leo down in South Africa again. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Jessica. Great to see you. Thank you for having you here. Thank you for being here. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Mr. Chad Button coming out of Iowa. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, Ms. Delta. I appreciate that. And thank you to anybody that does donate nor purchase anything from the Amazon wish list. That is so very appreciated. It keeps me going, guys. All right. great to see everybody and where you're coming from. It's amazing that we're reaching people down in South Africa with this. I love it, love it, love it. And we do appreciate you guys so very much. That's a fact. Welcome, Mountain Mom Ma. I think I said that right. Good to see you. Lindsay Culver coming out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Another Ohioan in the house. That's awesome. Awesome. Erica Hartman, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Of course, Miss Senny Kerp and Big Ohio Owl coming out of Cleveland. The land is in the house, folks. What's up, neighbor? Good to see you. CZ, welcome back to you. We don't know yet, Tim. TQ Logic. We were looking at that last night when I was in here. I couldn't figure it out. Come on in, everybody. And again, Lindsay says, hola, peeps from Cincinnati. That's awesome. Welcome, Carolyn Miller. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Hello, Mama Bear. How are you today? Yes, they come from everywhere, Miss Bonnie. All over the world. And I appreciate you all so very much. Mama Bear don't want to talk to me today, I guess. It's okay. Okay, I see how it is. I think I get everybody. And if I didn't, I will catch up with you soon, folks. I promise. No worries. No worries. No worries. Thank you, Miss Zelda, for that as well. And thank you to anybody that does donate to any of these links here that supports the channel, that pays the bills, and keeps me doing this every single day as we do this. I appreciate each and every single one of you all the way around, guys. It is appreciated. Never expected, but beyond appreciated. So thank you for those of you that donate in that sense. And everybody else that supports the channel this way, God bless, guys, just for being here, supporting me. I appreciate you so very much. We got 114 peeps in the house right now, guys, with 73 likes. Come on now. Let's make that match if we can and get this out in that algorithm. You guys have been killing that for the past few days. So thank you all for that, too. Lucy's mom, welcome back. Good to see you. Tammy Pauly, welcome to you. Noni McPoppins is in the house. Welcome back. Come on in, everyone. Ooh, that one's strong. Yes, another awesome day. I get to hang out with you guys and we can talk about some things and try to bring this child home. Get this info out. That's what we need to do, is get this out all over the place so everybody sees it, just in case somebody may see him. Excuse me. Come on in, everybody. Grab a chair, grab a seat, get whatever it takes to get comfortable if you can. Who said what? Welcome back to you. Trail Mustang or Trail Musing 14. Good to see you. Wonderful to see all these new faces in here, by the way. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. This is an amazing community full of amazing people. And you will all be, if you're new, welcomed with open arms. And I hope you are all comfortable here. And definitely will want to jump back in and stop by with us again and again. CL says the news said that TBI carried out evidence bags. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you so much. Who said what? It's always wonderful to have you guys here. Always a great time. That's awesome. So very awesome. Look at that. CR has been a member for 9 months. That's awesome, Sierra. Thank you so much for being part of this community and this family. We appreciate you so very much. And that's a fact. Okay, Mama Bear, no problem. If you do want to become part of this family, there's a link right there. You can jump in the sauce, become a meatball, and hang out in here as we spill this sauce on a daily basis and talk about the things we do. Yes, Victoria, you're right there, my dear. I see ya. Definitely visible. Sheriff's Office, with the assistance of the TBI, is executing a search warrant at a residence on Owens Chapel Road in relation to an active investigation. Interesting. Interesting. Owens Chapel Road. I'm sure it's not visual, but that's interesting to me. Octavia Outhouse, welcome back. Great to see you. Tell that baby behind you you love me. Okay, I just did. Thank you, Octavia. That's a 20-year-old case. Okay. Stop calling me. Everything went well with Mr. Caden this morning. Yes, at his doctor's office. Hopefully, he'll be put back on his medication here as of tomorrow. So we'll get some things rolling. What are we talking about, Miss Kimber? What's a 20-year-old case? Oh, that's in your town. I got you, Kimber. Welcome, Summer J. Great to see you. Neil Homestead, welcome back to you, my friend. 126 awesome peeps in here with 88 likes, guys. Come on, we're almost there. Shelly, welcome back to you, dear. Good to see you today. Come on in, everybody. Looks like Mischief became a new member. That's awesome. Welcome to the sauce. Another meatball floating around in here with us. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Appreciate you becoming part of this community. That's a fact, folks. That's a fact. Come on in, guys. Noel, welcome to you. Thanks for the welcome. I found you at the start of Idaho. Got you. Well, welcome. It's great to have you here. There she is, Miss Heather Fitzgerald. Thank you for joining us. Sent me a message. Okay, Heather, let me see. Where did you send it, Heather? And about what? Is it about the Rockford thing? Is that what you're talking about? I did receive that. Yeah, I did get that, Heather. Thank you, hon. Appreciate it. That's the Rockford thing. So the Owens Chapel thing is 20 years old. Okay, got you. Thank you, Kimber. Come on in, everybody. Mama Bear should be in here in a moment. Like I said, guys, there is some new audio, more dispatch audio that we're going to review as well. Absolutely. Thank you, Zelda, for that too. And it is the title on it is basis from the dive when they went looking and the neighborhood search as well. And Ms. Persevere. I love that name. That's cool the way you put that together. Welcome. Good to see you. Kiko, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And again, thank you, Heather, for the message. And something else too.
Hello. Yay.
Hello.
Oh,
You did it.
I did it.
How many
Yay.
swear words? How many swear words did you say to your microphone?
Too many.
Uh-huh. She does swear, folks. Believe it or not, it's funny as hell when she does it because her voice is so mousy. But when she says the swear words, it's like this just isn't right. But it's cool.
Yeah. It's aggravating because I'll get really, really like mad and I'll be cussing, and my husband's just standing there looking at me, smiling. He's like, "You're so cute when you're mad." I'm like, "Oh."
See, told you same thing. I said it to her before too. Like she gets mad about something. When I get mad, I'm mad. That's the end of the story. I just rah, rah, rah. You know how that goes. When she gets mad, it's hard to take her serious because she's got this little mousy voice, and it's like, yeah, okay. When you're actually really mad, let me know. Okay. But she does. Let me go to the other side of that though. I don't make her mad because when she does, she still scares me because it's very strange when she gets that way. Takes a lot to get her to that point. When you do, move over and go hide somewhere. That's all I can say.
Right. Yeah.
She's probably the sweetest person I ever met in my life until you piss her off, and then it's over. So
Pretty
anyway,
much. It's part of being a Scorpio too.
yes. Yeah, I did get that whole thing, Heather, as well about the cremation thing, which is crazy. I thought so too. We'll have to talk about that at another point. That's good stuff, Heather. Thank you. Good job. Switching buildings and Wi-Fi. Be back. And no problem, Tracy. Take your time, dear. Angels of Virtue. Angel of Virtue. I'm sorry. Good to see you. Terry Martin, welcome. Yes, I know, Terry. That was a little different for me. That was what we were watching when I had to end the show last night because I was falling asleep. S. Hagen, welcome. Good to see you. Excuse me. Hey, Kiko. Welcome back to you. 92 likes. What is going on with that? We're just being lazy now, guys. We're almost at, what did I tell you it was? 7,800 subscribers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're like
78.99.
Yeah, we're like one subscriber away from hitting 900. 7,900. Yes, I can count, folks. I promise. Which is amazing because what was it? A couple days ago, we were sitting at 7689.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 6,700
or something like that. It's just it's been insane, and you guys are absolutely amazing for this. I appreciate every one of you for being here and doing what you do with this channel, for this channel, and about this channel. You guys are amazing. Just you guys rock and roll. Welcome, Beth. Good to see you, Jillian. Welcome back to you as well. Thank you, Zelda, for that as well.
Have a good day, Zelda. And hi, everybody.
Yes, Zelda, don't work too hard. Yes, there's the bear. You speak to them now. I talk too much. Tell me to shut up.
No, really? Did you get my email? Hi.
See how mean she is to me, you guys? God.
Whatever.
Whatever. Let me look. Hold on a minute here.
Hey, Diego, just had a chat with your wife. Always delightful. Hard at work as usual.
Mr. Philip Hughes, yes. Tell her I said hello, my dear, and I miss you so very much, and I love you. Well, you don't have to say that, Philip, but tell her I love her. That's all. I thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate you very much. Yes, I did get your email, ma'am. Awesome. Thank you for that.
I don't know if you have trouble playing it, just let me know. I know I think it came through as a Google link, so.
Okay. It may not be the best quality. I'll give you the best I can. Who's going to be the 7,900 subscriber? I don't know. You won't regret it. It's free. That's right, Senny. Thank you for that.
Yep.
And guys, Clue's in here again. She was. If you have not yet done that, if we can drop her link, guys, please check out Cluminati's channel. She has been putting in the work on this case as well. Hardcore. Boots on the ground, videos, whatever we got to do, guys, to find this amazing child. Please go check out her channel as well. It really is a great channel with a lot of good stuff on it, guys, and you will not be disappointed. Let me see. And of course, once that's down in there, we got to drop Mama Bear's link in here again, guys. I was so disappointed. She went live yesterday. I seen 15 people in there. I couldn't go in there because I was busy, but there's so many of us in here. She's the other side of me, you guys. If you like me, you'll love her. She's a lot better looking than me, for one. She's got a better voice. And she's just, just saying, guys. You got to subscribe and help Mama Bear's channel. And I will be over there probably as often as I can once she is live, too. So
I'm not good yet at getting it posted as TikTok and Facebook and all that. So that's probably part of the issue.
We'll get it. We got to link them all. Both the channels actually need to be linked to all those other little social media things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kiko, I know. There's more. I promise you guys I won't drill you with it tonight or today. I was just at one spot I was really trying to hear. This one's a little bit clearer, and it's still hard. Mama Bear sent it to me, and she said she was trying to hear it but couldn't. So
yeah, so I hope. I don't know. I couldn't get it cleared up, so I don't know if anybody else has any better luck or not.
We'll figure it out. Slow it down, speed it up. I'm pretty good at hearing it, so there it is. There's a link for Cluminati's channel. Thank you for that so very much, Ms. Zelda. Bye-bye now. Thank you so much, hon, for being here. I appreciate you. And don't work too hard, please. We do.
His mic.
What's that?
It sounds like he's eating his mic in that dispatch. It's like, do you have your phone in your mouth?
Well, a lot of those, yeah. Here's what goes on, guys, is the officers have their microphones on their shoulders a lot of times, unless they're holding a handheld, and they lean it over when they're trying to talk on their shoulder, and they kind of like shove it into their face, and you can't hear what they're saying sometimes. I've had that experience personally.
Yeah.
So I think that Cluminati went by there, and her understanding, I asked her this morning, she told me that van was still sitting there. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's right, Mr. Phillip.
Hey, Kimber.
Yeah, 100%, Carolyn. That's creepy too. It's very weird. I don't understand people doing that, but it is what it is. Very much is what it is. Let me see something, guys, real quick here. Betty, quick. And we're gonna get started on this stuff. What did I just do? That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back over here now. You'd think I'd be able to do this, like with my eyes closed. Nope. Nope. We're still at $78.99. One more person. Come on now. Go get the dog next door. Say, hey, you got to check out this. You got to check out this channel. Subscribe, and boom, we hit 7,900. And still growing, guys. Still growing. We are in the algorithm as of now. Thank you guys for that. It is very important to me that we get this in the algorithm so that the whole world can see these shows when we are covering these missing children.
Hi, Hope. Hi, Chemistry.
Welcome, Miss Val. Chemistry Queen, welcome back to you. Thank you so much, Chemistry. I appreciate you very much. And guys, if we can, sometime throughout this stream, if you don't mind throwing up some green hearts for Team Sebastian, because it is very important to me that we show that we care, guys. So if you can, throw up some green for Sebastian, please. I appreciate that very much. I see Miss Carolyn did it already. It's awesome. All right. Good stuff. Lindsay Culver, there they go. Look at that. You guys are amazing. Boom, 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 boom. That was quick, too. Miss Brandy, Miss Lindsay, Deb Wilkes, Chemistry Queen, Janet Riff, thank you guys. Jillian, all right. You guys are amazing. Showing the love. That's awesome. All right. Let me see here. I bet you I could do that. Maybe. Every one of you guys is doing it. That's beautiful, guys. Thank you for that so very much. I had no doubt by any means that I have any doubt. All right, we're back to this thing there, and let's do this. Look at the whole chat screen now. That's amazing. Thank you guys so very much. Walt Harris, welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Dago. Walt Harris is here today. Of course, Walt's here every day.
Hey, Walt.
We love you, Walt. Lisa Vallejo, welcome. And Kim Marin, welcome back. Look at that. You guys are killing it over there. Love all the green, guys. Love all the green. All right. Let's start with this. Where is it?
I don't know. What are you looking for now?
Oh, what you sent to me. I had it sitting here, and now it's. Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry. I got it now.
Are you sure?
Yep, I are sure. All right, guys, bear with this and bear with me. Some of it may be hard to hear. Please let me know if you need me to do anything with it. No worries, Zelda. I appreciate you just being here. Oh, did she? She went live too? Okay, well, she was in here. Okay. Hold on a moment. All right, let's see what we got.
White purple hoodie with holes on the
10-4. Anybody that's at the residence, can they ask the parents?
Mom doesn't advise that she can recall one. 10-4. 12 Central.
Welcome back, Abu.
12, go ahead.
Welcome, Corrido MVP 11.
Can we make sure that this has been rolled out to Hendersonville and Gallatin? Also, they were at Striking Square last night, just bowling.
Welcome, Jesse Lynn. There was no 911 call. This is the dispatch audio between officers and I'm guessing a 911 operator or a dispatch operator during the day. This is from 2/26, February 26th, 9:47. There's times on here where they go back and forth, okay? 9:47 to 10:17, blah, 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 so on and so forth. The times change. They took calls throughout the day and broke them up and put them in here together. So that's all. Corrido MVP, a new sub. That is awesome. Thank you for that. We appreciate you. No problems, Jesse.
Game. Can you have a unit go there and just go around and make sure that he hasn't returned there? Make sure he didn't want to continue his day.
Let me know how you guys hear.
47 to command.
47.
1011 and 1015 have ring cameras, but didn't pick up anything.
517, Hendersonville is with me. 1006, no contact. 1008, made contact. Haven't seen anything. 1010, contact. They hadn't seen anything. There's nothing on ring doorbell.
So this is they're going door to door in the neighborhood, checking cameras, talking to the neighbors, seeing, did you see anything, or that kind of a type thing. That's what we were hearing right here. So
47 to command.
47.
1023 and 1024 both have ring cameras, so no one's home.
10-4. Command the units on Stafford. I'm going to the command bus. If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds. Command the units on Stafford. I'm going to the command bus. If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds. 1012, Killing Lane through 1020. All checked. 1012, let me go through the entire house. All right.
The lady at 10 runs the neighborhood Facebook page, and she's updating it to request people to look in their crawl spaces and hidden areas.
10-4. line.
Go ahead.
Hey, on at 1017 Killing Lane, did y'all happen to check the crawl space?
welcome, Kel.
I will have to check my list, but if it wasn't locked from the outside, it was checked. 1018 Stafford. They are reviewing their camera footage right now.
10-4. Are you guys giving them numbers to call if they find anything?
Welcome, Carrie Pajula.
Check the cameras.
184, your low volume. They got cameras checked.
April 1018, they checked the cameras. No contact.
Yeah, this is for those of you just popping in, this is the neighborhood. They went through the whole neighborhood, canvassing the neighborhood, checking cameras, ring cameras, exterior cameras, door knocking, talking to the people that live there to see if they've seen or heard anything. Brandy, honey, if you can drop the link for the TikTok, I see a couple people that are asking and said they didn't know about it. So for anybody interested who wants to check the TikTok out, please do. Oh, there it is. She's already reading my mind. That's when you can tell somebody's been with you for a long time, when I can open my mouth and she'll say what I'm going to say. Welcome, Tia Michelle, new here from Barbados. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you.
10-4.
26.
Go ahead.
Going to walk through road of the cemetery. There's to the west is Beach High School. Going to walk through road of the cemetery. There's to the west is Beach High School.
10-4.
The green, Terry, is in support of Sebastian. It's his favorite color. So I was just asking everybody to show the love for Sebastian in support of him by dropping green hearts or whatever you want in the chat if you could. That's all. Thank you for that.
St. John Missionary, 85. Check one. On foot. Check one. On foot. Intersville 517 to command.
517, go ahead.
Your assignment, all units.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate
12
it.
all units. When you're done with your assignment, please come back to 1008 Stafford.
Welcome,
68
Maureen.
command.
Go ahead, 68.
1026. 1024, check. Nothing on ring cameras.
10-4.
16 command.
16.
Happy Hollow and Hogan's Branch, checked. No contact.
Direct.
And there it is, without a doubt. If CR is here, there's a new membership that's put out every single time I'm live. Thank you once again,
Thank
CR.
you.
I don't see who got it, but we appreciate
Deborah
it.
Thompson.
Who? Deborah Thompson. Congratulations, Deborah. Welcome to the sauce. Another new meatball. And again, CR, God bless and thank you so very much for that.
Dive operations have started at Willow Bend Drive.
10-4.
St. John Baptist is clear all the way along. And then dumpsters and both police buses have been cleared also. They're making that.
10-4. Are you going back to Stafford?
Still on search, but general area. 1026. Killing Wayne, no contact. 1028, make contact, nothing on their cameras. And 1030, contact, nothing on their cameras, and nothing in the treehouse behind the house.
10-4.
On houses. 68 command, all houses on Kevin Lane have been checked.
10-4, correct. All houses on Kellen Lane have been checked.
Devonport has been checked as well.
10-4, Devonport.
Hiya, Tracy.
Okay, so that tells us everything was checked in that entire neighborhood. Nobody, and it's amazing to me because nobody sees anything on their cameras. Nobody saw or heard anything. Okay. If there was some drama going on outside, close neighbors would have heard something. Guys, I mean, this is why we're all like floored. Like, what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody would have went into this child, these people's home to take this child, the mother was home, she would have heard something, in my opinion. I think Sebastian would have made some noise. During that, there would have been people that would have seen or heard people coming in and out, possibly making noise. There's nothing on any cameras, anything. I don't get it. And, a lot of people are saying, well, they've heard me say this already before. Dago, does that make you feel like something happened in the home? I don't know. I mean, common sense leads in that direction. I can agree, but
I would think if something had happened in the home, we would have heard something by now.
right.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying, guys. There would have
the
been
house
something.
would have been roped off, or we would have
Something.
seen something out there.
Only if he could, though. That's true. That is very true. That's true, Victoria. He could have been, held down or quieted down so that he couldn't. Tim says, how do we know that Sebastian took out the garbage? We don't. Okay. We don't know. I've had a lot of people coming to me with emails and just directly coming at me and asking me, what if he didn't come home that night? Do we know for an absolute 100% proof fact that he came home to that home after dinner and the bowling alley? Welcome, Marietta. Hi, good to see you. Good to have you here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely, and respect that, Marietta. You're welcome here at all times. And don't ever feel like you have to be here. If you're not doing well with it, take your break. We all need them. So Noelle says on that live, they said she passed the polygraph. Then Seth says, yeah, they tell everyone they passed. Did you catch that? I did. Yes, I did. Welcome, C. Garrison 71. Thank you for joining us. I did catch that. Because in some senses, they do say that just to keep people, kind of under their thumbnail so that they know what's going on with them. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but I don't know. It's interesting. Kiko says, absolutely. We would know if Katie took him out. He is not something tiny to get rid of. Right.
Right. And if she gave him something to knock him out, I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
dead weight, I don't know if she'd be able to.
Well, here's the thing. And as I said that, and then I had people come back to me and say, well, she did training for MMA. She did military.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I guess, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Miss Jillian says, Sebastian could be anywhere. I know my own 14-year-old autistic daughter cannot even get a bus on her own right. To her, a bus is a bus, regardless of where it's headed, 100%. I understand that. And like I said, Caden, a lot of you know, he's very high functioning, and nobody would know that he has autism, but he's very, how can I put this? Unrealizing to a lot of things in like real life at this moment still. He's going to be 18 in a couple months, but he does not have that mentality. That's the thing. So,
Naive.
Yeah, naive is being nice.
Yeah.
Today at the doctor, we were talking to the doctor, and she's asking him questions that I had to answer because he had no idea what she was saying and how to articulate that. You know what I mean? So, that's part of it too. And without medication, when these kids are on medication, without medication, it makes it 100 times worse. We did not, Terry. That's the question of the century right now, is what was that thud? Is that thud what the demise of the situation was? Okay. Welcome, Sunshine. Yeah, there's a lot of questions about the interview. Speaking of which, we're gonna move to this other interview, guys. The quality of this is gonna be rough. I'm gonna promise you. I'm telling you right up front. But it's the best we could do with this. Let me see here.
Truth, anything's a possibility right now.
100%. 100%. That's why I get scared with runaways. When Brandy's niece ran away, we were covering that. I was petrified because she ran away or walked away or whatever you want to call it. That doesn't mean that, within seconds that can turn into an abduction. Okay? Literally.
Exactly.
Especially with what's going on right now in the world. So
Hello, Cassie.
Hello, Miss Cassie. Have you talked to your mom today? How is your little brother doing? I hope everything's getting better. Didn't they find money he had hidden in his room? I heard that, but I haven't seen that for fact yet, Mama. Mountain Mama. Still, there's no way they meticulously went through all of that ring camera footage in a short period of time. Well, I think they had, here's what the audio I just played. They had multiple officers. Multiple, I mean, like quite a few multiple officers in the neighborhood canvassing that area. They were looking at all of the ring camera footage. I think they had an officer per house in that neighborhood, I'll say. It was checking all the cameras, exterior cameras as well as ring cameras, talking to each one of the homeowners in that area. So they could have missed something. That's very possible because there's a lot of decent amount of homes in that area. He did mention your slippers. You're absolutely right, Victoria. Now, okay, that's a good thing. But based on the excuse me, the audio we listened to last night, there were what I'm going to call bare footprints leading to that retention pond. And that's still the biggest mystery to me. There you go. I see it, Teresa. So I have my questions. I'll be honest with you. I still have my questions. There it is, Cassie's doing okay. She stood twice today. That's good. For 30 seconds each, they had to reinforce and cover his IV so he wouldn't take. Oh, I bet he's fighting with that IV, I'm sure. I'm glad to hear he's doing better. It's going forward instead of backward. Give your mom our love, Cass, and tell her we're all thinking about all of them. And Nicholas as well. He's in my thoughts and prayers. And hopefully things start to turn around a little bit more and he can come home soon. Jamie K, new watch last night. Picture of work van was shown. Did y'all find? Okay, so Cluminati, I guess she said that I asked her this morning. She went by there at some point and said the van's still there. So I do not know, Jamie, what the deal is with it. Absolutely, Cass. I don't know what that info or where that info came from. Welcome, Salty. Good to see you, dear. Hope you're having a good day today. Noel said there was one more thing that stood out, but I forget. It's okay. Drink your coffee, wake up, and take your time. We will be here for a bit. Welcome, Raul. Good to see you. Just saying hello, lovely family. I'm here for the video. We know. I understand. It's all good. I appreciate you jumping in either way. And we will be touching on Idaho here soon. There's some things to talk about. But there hasn't been. And this, in my opinion, takes priority over everything right now. So that's why we're here. But I appreciate you, Raul. I really do. Sugar baby, welcome. Mom could have done her footprints and said it was the son's. I mean, anything's possible. One of the officers asked what size Sebastian's feet were. They said size 10. So I don't know if they measured the footprint, if they were just doing it, eyeing it out. I don't know. So, absolutely. Aeneas. There we go. How far is Seth from work there? Seth is in Nashville, isn't he? In Davison County?
Uh-huh.
That's where he worked. I thought so. Yes, size 10. Thank you, Salty. That's correct. Didn't he try to run away before? From my understanding, even in that dispatch call, it says this was the first time for this. So I don't know. Now, there were some things hinted around too that some things in the past may have happened. What they are, we don't know. I don't know.
I'm not sure on that one, Truth.
But they specifically specified it was footprint. Yes, they did actually, because he asked him. Yeah, he said, so you're not seeing shoe prints, or not with shoes, but footprints. And the guy said, no shoes.
Okay.
That was last night in that. Yes, I did hear that because I went back to clarify that when Clue was up here. I asked their opinions as to what they heard as well, and they heard the same thing. So
awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you, Jamie, very much. We appreciate you. Through JLR chat? Wow. Was he promoting my channel? That's interesting. That's awesome, but appreciate it. Very awesome. Which I've been promoting him as well because he's doing a lot of work on this, guys. Putting in the hard work. Like I said, I've never been a super huge fan of his until this went down and he proved himself here, to me at least, on this. JLR has always been one to go hard on these types of things, and he does it well. So it is what it is. Oh, good God. I'm so sorry, Salty. I didn't know that. She says today has been 19 years since she lost her daughter. I pray Sebastian is found today. At least I know Seth doesn't have that closure. Absolutely, Salty. And you're in my thoughts and prayers today for this.
Big hugs, Salty.
Absolutely. Welcome, Jingles. Good to see you. I hope you get through today the best way you can. And we're all here with you, dear. Salty's pretty tough, but that's one of them things that it doesn't get easier.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Noelle. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I saw that with the Milo's teeth thing. Doodle, that's funny to me. He's always got some kind of a prop, always. The toast one is always the funniest one. So
let's spill the tea.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's why I got to go through my email. Derp. It's one thing I gotta say. This community is already amazing. There's a lot of people in this community, folks, that have been through some very, very, very horrific things with their children, grandchildren, things like that. And for them to come in here and to support things like this blows my mind because it's hard. It's a hard thing. So I want to say thank you to all, and you know who you are. I'm not going to call you guys out, but I want to say thank you personally to each and every one of you that is in here that has been through some of these traumatic experiences that are horrific, and whatever way you look at it, they're horrific. So thank you for being here and supporting the things that we do to try to help in finding and figuring out what is going on with these cases. I mean, you guys are just amazing, getting through what you've been through and still coming in here to do this. So God bless each and every one of you for that, and thank you. As far as I know, Sandy Toes is okay. I haven't seen her in a while, but I hope she's okay.
Seems like I saw her somewhere in somebody's chat.
It's been
the
a
last
while.
couple weeks, but
It has been a while, I'll say that much.
Can't think of who it was.
Let me see this now. All right, so yeah, the audio on this might be a little rough. You might have to turn up on your end.
Yeah, because it's a recording of a recording.
Right. This
from
is
somebody's TV.
The best that she could get. So we looked everywhere and couldn't find the actual interview itself.
And Sandy Toes was a sweetheart. Is a sweetheart. I'm not gonna say
Sandy, oh yeah, absolutely. No worries, Jesse. I hope she's okay. I really do. Sometimes some people just have to take a break for some of this. It gets rough, and I know that myself. Unfortunately, life really goes on, and we just have to use our time to try to help. Amen to that one, Doodle. And Doodle is one of those people I'm talking about. She's been through a lot, and she's here pushing and supporting me and everybody that covers these things 1,000,001%. So thank you, and God bless, Doodle. We love you. And same to you, Salty. Guys, let me know what the audio on this is like, if I need to do anything or if anything I can do. Give it the best we can.
So this morning, the search for a missing autistic teen, gone for more than a month now, growing more frantic. 15-year-old Sebastan Rogers has not been seen since he left his Tennessee bedroom barefoot with a flashlight. Joining us now, Sebastian's parents, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. Katie and Chris, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, Miss Proudfoot, you put him to bed. You heard some noises in there. You told him to knock it off. You got.
Is the audio okay enough for you guys? I hope. I don't think there's anything we can do to make it better at this point.
Yeah.
You might have to put headphones on, turn it way up, and muffle anything else behind you because you can hear it's deep sounding. So I
Yeah.
hope it's okay. Good. All right.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Up the next morning, and you haven't seen him since. Where do you think your son is right now?
Honestly, we don't know where he is, but now we haven't found any substantial evidence to locate where he's been or where he went. That's why we're pleading for help for anyone out there that might know something or see something that could help us find him.
Ms. Crawford, was Sebastan a runner? Did he have a history of running away from school or running away from home anytime before?
No, he didn't have a history of running.
Mr. Crawford, you're about, I think, 3 hours away. And then you got the call about what happened. You made your way home. You've agreed to a polygraph. You haven't been ruled as a suspect. What do you make of some of the criticism of some people online, some critics saying that they think that you were involved?
It's their personal opinion. It's sad that people have resulted to this kind of rhetoric and verbiage and harassment, but you know, at the end of the day, it's their opinion. But the truth will come out, and then when it does, everybody will finally have their answers.
Ms. Crawford, did your son Sebastan have any friends that you think? Did he have a cell phone? Had he made any type of contact?
Not that we know of.
Ms. Crawford, you did decide to leave the home and you went to go see your husband, which I said is about 3 hours away. And some people have said that, you know, you have an autistic son who's missing. Why would you leave the home? Can you give us some insight on why?
There are a few reasons. We are posting flyers every direction we can, but at the same time, there were quite a bit of people that were, you know, sending some very threatening and hateful messages to us. They're following us. They're driving past our house all hours of day and night, disturbing the neighborhood. And the neighborhood is very upset, concerned, and people are worried about their safety at this point. So one of the reasons that I did that is in the hopes that if we left for a couple of days, that it might calm that down and give our neighbors a little bit of reprieve as well.
A quick follow, Ms. Crawford. His biological father has said that he doesn't believe that he would have been barefoot because of the traumatic experience that he had stepping in a pile of ants. But you think he left barefoot. Why are you so confident that he didn't have any shoes on or anything like that?
Because all of his shoes have been accounted for. As far as now, all of our shoes have been accounted for, mine and my wife's at this point. So, I mean, there is no other answer as to what he would have been wearing at this point.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining us on the program. Our number one concern is to get Sebastan home back to y'all. We're going to put the number up for anyone that has any information on if you've seen Sebastan. You can call 1-800-TBI.
No worries,
Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI Find. We'll put up the timeline. If you are in any of these areas, we hope that you'll reach out to the number. Katie and Chris, thanks so much for joining our program this morning. All right,
Thank you so much for having my discussions.
We're praying for you guys.
All right, so it's a short one. It was on Fox and Friends, so it was just going to be a clip, I'm sure. But once again, that bothers me when that happens because she'll start to answer and he talks over her. So whatever.
Yes, I would have been like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, that's whatever.
I am an adult. I can speak for myself. It's my son.
He was in his camper at his work site. She's home now, so. If that was the case and there was all these threats coming through, why are you home now? You know?
Yeah. Just because it's daytime doesn't mean that the threats are any less.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Welcome, Anata, Drama Nana, Nana. Welcome. Good to see you. Good golly, Miss Molly in the house, everybody. Thank you for joining us, Molly. I appreciate you very, very much for being here.
Oh, Kathy, be nice. You're ornery.
What happened?
Molly said, "Sorry, I'm late." Cassie says, "Molly, sorry, that's gonna cost you," with a little devil.
Oh, it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're never late, right, Cassie?
Right. That's a good point, Tia. A lot of people have made the mention of that. Like, not only that, but a man who wasn't there has a whole lot to say. And I've always said from the beginning, like,
I'll be right back. Got a phone call.
you have a lot more info than the person that was even there. It's interesting. I mean, I'm sure she's told him everything, but like, damn, you know, let the woman speak. Just saying. Let me see something here. Making sure and double checking. Okay. Let me see something here. Um, okay. Oh boy, I gotta clean my email out again. Welcome, Ray Baldick. Good to see you. And let me see. Debbie Clark, always happy to have you here as well. All right, guys, let me get a couple other things up here for you. Up and moving. Damn it. Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me. All right, all right, all right. Oop, 1 second. One second, guys. I'm setting something up. Sorry, guys, I'm having a technical issue. I'm trying to set this up for you guys. One moment. Okay. Well, give me a few minutes on that. When Mama Bear comes back, we'll figure that out. But anyway, so at this point, my phone rings. Surprise. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Lord, sorry about that. That was Mrs. Dago. She was having a bit of an issue, so my apologies. Let me see. Okay, so those of you that did jump in here after the fact, I'm going to go back to this again. I don't know what you guys actually may have heard, but I should play this back for you at least one more time. All right. I've seen a few people jumped in after the fact, so. And those of you may not have heard it clearly either, so let's see what we got here. Welcome, Annie. Hola to you. All right. Again, let me know if the audio is okay. And if I need to slow down or anything. Sorry about the dead air, folks. My apologies.
White purple hoodie with homosexual colors.
Simple. Anybody that's at the residence, can they ask the parents?
Now, once again, for those of you that were not in here or didn't hear, this is them canvassing the neighborhood. This is part of when they did their dive, looking and trying to clear all the water, stuff like that. That's what this one is, and it's dated the 26th of this year, of course, from February 26th. I'm sorry. The times on it go back and forth. This one here, 9:47 to 10:17 a.m., and it just bounces back and forth. So, again, my apologies for the dead air.
Mom doesn't advise that she can recall one. 12 Central.
12, go ahead.
Can we make sure that this has been rolled out to Hendersonville and Gallatin? Also, they were at Striking Square last night, just bowling at some games. Can you have a unit go there and just go around and make sure that he hasn't returned there? Make sure he didn't.
So they dispatched a unit back to the bowling alley area to check on the fact to see if whether or not he may have gone back there on foot per se, which obviously there's no return on that. There was nothing from that again. So just to give you a heads up on what you may be hearing. It definitely fishy, Stevie, or Steve, not Stevie, sorry. Steve, I appreciate our I agree with you. Sorry, guys.
47 to command.
47.
1011 and 1015 have ring cameras, but didn't pick up anything. 517 Hendersonville is with me. 1006, no contact. 1008, made contact. Haven't seen anything. 1010, contact. They hadn't seen anything either, nothing on ring doorbell. 47 of them.
47.
1023 and 1024 both have ring cameras, so we're no one's home.
10-4. Command the units on Stafford. I'm going to the command bus. If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds. Command the units on Stafford. I'm going to the command bus. If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds.
1012 Killing Lane through 1020. All checked. 1012 let me go through the entire house.
All right.
The lady at 10 runs the neighborhood Facebook page, and she updating it to request people to look in their crawl spaces and hidden areas.
10-4.
$68 fine. Go ahead. Hey, on at 1017 Killing Lane, did y'all happen to check the crawl space? I will have to check my list, but if it wasn't locked from the outside, it was checked. 1018 Stafford. They are reviewing their camera footage right now.
10-4. Are you guys giving them numbers to call if they find anything?
Several. Yeah.
Okay, there's a report of a lot of police presence. I believe fire and EMS as well, in military gear at Warriors State Park on a bridge. If anybody's familiar with that area or you're in that area, does anybody have an idea? And who said that to me, by the way? MCause, thank you. So I'm gonna check something real quick, guys. Give me a minute. I'm gonna drop this for a minute, and we'll be right back to it. Let me see here. Hold on. Warriors Path. That's in Pennsylvania, isn't it? I thought that was in PA. The one I heard about was in PA. Nope, there's one in Kingsport. My apologies. Okay. Kingsport. Yep. Okay. Hold on a minute. Let me check something, guys. See if there's anything that is anything to this. Okay. Yes, Carito. Quite a few. That's a fact. But there's also a lot of normal. You didn't scare me. A lot of normal. Yes, Molly Kingsport. Normal children that I hate to use the word normal. Children that are not autistic going missing as well. So I don't know if there's a thing with that or not. But yeah, it's in Kingsport, Molly, for sure. Lord have mercy. Hold on a minute here. That's a good try, though, Mama Bear. Thank you.
Next time I'll come in yelling.
Okay, dope. Sounds good.
Oh. I love being on vacation and have to still answer work calls.
Yeah, that's a good point, Credo. I agree. Good Lord, I don't see anything. Give me a second here. I'm just double checking with news. Just to make sure there's nothing breaking. I don't see anything here. No, nothing yet.
I can't. Okay.
Okay.
Pico, let's say I can get loud. I don't really yell or scream, but I can get loud.
Yeah, she does get loud. So
if I yell or scream, it just gets even more squeaky. Everybody just laughs. So
no comment. I'm not saying a word. Yeah, agreed. Agreed, Jackie. That is true. The Horn Lake and the Horseshoe be searched. I agree. Also, there's another Arrowhead Park has been brought up multiple times. I don't know what the Cajun Navy's doing with law enforcement, what their ideals are with this, where they're going. Hawkins County is quiet. Okay. Is that the county that's in, Molly, is Hawkins? Thank you, dear. Yeah, if you're gonna, that's awesome. If you're checking the scanner, I appreciate that because I don't have time to pull it up and try to mess with that again. So if you hear anything, Molly, let me know and I'll pull it in, or I'll yank it up real quick and we can go to it live while we're talking about this. Hold on a minute here. So based on what the audio for the 2 days that we've heard, okay, everything in that neighborhood was searched. Every home, every house, their house, 10 times they went through this house. I've come to the conclusion at this point that whatever has happened to him, they're leaving Saturday. I've heard that too, Steve, which that bugs me, but what are you going to do? If something did happen in the home, it's been covered up well. I'm not saying it did, but it has, because they've been through that house 10 times and there's nothing. The retention pond thing kind of bothers me. Ever since last night, I've been thinking about that. If they followed footprints to that pond leading to it, there's nothing leading away from it. There's nobody in there. They drained it. He's not there. Where did he go? Where did he go when he walked to the pond? That's what's bothering me.
Did he
I
walk
mean-
through the pond?
I mean, they said it was knee high. That's how deep the water is. That's it. The dog led him to the pond and dove in. End of story. Where did the things go after that? That's driving me crazy at this moment.
And
Well-
here's my question. How did they made the comment or used the word the direction he was running? Were they referring to the dog that was
Yeah.
running or the kid that was running?
Yeah, because they went back. I went back and like scanned it and stopped it and scanned it and stopped it word for word for word for word. They were referring to Max, which is the dog.
Okay, the dog. Okay.
So,
I was starting to doze off at that point, so I didn't
Yeah.
catch all of it.
some of them do, Cassie. That's true. And I went and looked, and this is just a retention pond. There's no drain pipe to this. They were basically using this as a place to get fill dirt. They were digging a fill dirt out of there repeatedly to build mounds and grade and level the ground and stuff like that. So it's just a big hole in the ground. Basically, Cletus said that when he looked at it, just looked like a big swimming pool. There's no extension pipes or anything connected to it at all. It was just a hole in the ground is all. It was a good question though, Cassie. Don't get me wrong. Where did you hear that something was going on? It was on
Somebody.
what's her name's community page. Somebody asked a question. Give me a minute, I'll find it. There was some action going on up the road from there last night when we were live. There was like 20 police officers, fire trucks, and all that. It was posted on Facebook. Smiley's World, Molly, is where it was posted on her community page. Let me see if there's any update to that. They asked, somebody came in and asked a question on the community post and said, any idea why there are like 15 cop cars, undercover agents, local police, people in military gear and with diving gear looking over the side of the Warriors Path State Park Bridge right now? We'll keep y'all updated as I know too. I think that came from Smiley herself.
I wonder if that was part of. I know there was a 20-year-old cold case that Kimber was following, that they had a house surrounded and stuff last night. I don't know if that was maybe part of that or not.
Yeah, it could have been. Now, there's something that was interesting to me. Sweetie Pilo, for those of you that aren't familiar with her, if we can drop her link in here, I've followed her on and off since I started streaming in this community. She did a show not too long ago. Actually, it was, I'm going to say like a half hour ago. She was live and with it, and she's talking about they're covering up for something that Katie did, and she's talked about this before. Okay, so I kind of wanted to review this with you guys and see what you guys think, because it was interesting to me. Thank you, Molly. So there's something up. Okay, Cluminati has been calling. I'm not going to put her out there like that, but she's been looking at Kate in a weird way since the beginning. You know, I wasn't. I'll be honest with you guys. I felt bad for her. I have a soft spot for mothers, and I feel bad for them in a lot of ways. Thank you, Mama Bear. There's a link for Sweetie's channel, guys, if you haven't checked her out. But what we're going to listen to here in a minute is coming directly from her channel, from her live. So I'm curious. I was looking and scanning through this, and I was like, it's interesting. So I kind of wanted your guys' thoughts on this as well, while we're in here talking about this. Give me 1 second here. I'm not going to put the video up, but I'm going to give the audio, and you guys can listen to this as we go through and review this real quick here. You're still here, Mama Bear. Don't worry.
Just see the grief.
Oh, I know.
What?
These people
I said,
are
oh, I know I'm still here.
100% pretenders. And
All
I
right.
don't know how.
Let me know how it sounds and how you hear it. All right.
To everybody, but it's not. Now, I must admit, last week when I made my first video on this case, I was not 100% sold on their guilt. It just wasn't. Just because weird stuff can happen, you know, as we know, things that you'd never imagine to take place do. So when I kind of investigated and talked to different sources and got the full picture of what they were telling me, it was kind of like, okay,
I know, Molly.
I wasn't 100% sold of their guilt though. Like, not 100%. After the Nancy Grace interview, forget about it. Forget about it. It was so clear to me, like.
And I got to be honest with you guys, I'm right there with her. I agree wholeheartedly with her. I was kind of like, something's not right, but you know, it is what it is. They're just grieving or this or that. And then Nancy Grace did the interview, and I was like, wait a minute, something's off, like way off here. There was no defensiveness anymore. I honestly, be honest with you guys, I think they were intimidated by Nancy. I can see why. Nancy kind of does that, in my opinion. Was something, is you okay, Molly? Or okay, I get it, no problem. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the same things now when it comes to the mother. Okay. Well, come to find out some things too about her. Okay, Molly. That according to a couple places I've seen now she has a past that I didn't know about. So I'm looking on that as we speak. It's hard to find things, but of course there's whatever. So we'll see what comes out of that too. But I'm going to play this audio and see what you guys think.
Who in the hell is going to lie when they have a missing child? Who has time for that? Can anybody tell me who has time to lie when their child is missing? Because I can't think of it. Like, your child's missing and you're gonna go on Nancy Grace. It wasn't, let's just say, let's play devil's advocate here. Were they maybe worried about how Nancy Grace was going to view them? Like, if they did tell the truth, is that why they lied? Like about the CPS stuff, maybe about her hearing a thud, just these different things that happened. Like, was that maybe the reason? Or is it just the fact that they're trying to cover up? Remember, we lie when we have something to cover. So where the truth is weaved in between the lies. So why all the lies, right? It's because they were up to no good. That's my opinion. I want to tell you, let's get down to some facts that I have found out since I last went live. And we can, you know what, there's so much to talk about. I almost don't even know where to begin. So bear with me. It's going to be random, okay? If you can handle random, you're in the right place because it's going to be random. But I want to share with you everything I know at this time that I think matters. So the first thing you need to know, there was an ultimatum. It was about 3 months ago. This ultimatum was shared with Seth. And this ultimatum came from Chris to Katie. He specifically said, so Chris specifically said this to Katie. He said, if it comes between me and your son, I expect you to choose your son. This 100% happened, as God is my witness. So is that when the seed was planted?
Now that right there, I've heard this twice now. Sweetie's the third time I've heard this talked about. I haven't really put anything out about that because it was only hearsay. I mean, it still is hearsay per se, okay? But Seth made mention of this, okay? When he made mention of it, I was like, okay, that Chris told him this scenario. No. Did Chris just say this to him because he was trying to look good to him or whatever? I don't know. But why would you even have to tell a mother, if it comes between me or your child, I expect you to choose your child? That's not an expectation. That's a fact, folks.
100%.
I mean, my wife and I have been together for over 22 years, something in that realm. Thank God she's not here. I'd be smacked in the head. But I'm just saying, if it came down when our children were younger, if it came down, we brought two families together, the Brady Bunch scenario. And if it came down to, well, you either got a choice, it's me or them. Guess what, guys? It's them. My kids are my world, my life.
Absolutely.
You can find a partner, a mate, a spouse at any time in your life. Your kids are your kids. So to have your partner look at you and say, if it comes down to it, I expect you to choose your child. That's not a question. Thank you. Susan Smith. Yeah, see, those are the things that make me want to start swearing. Not doing it, I'm just telling you. So if this is even a question that Katie even thought about it, here we go. Here we go with doubt, okay? Reasonable doubt as far as I'm concerned. Is the door behind you open? I don't want to see. Listen, hon, I promise you that if somebody comes through that door, because I can see it in my camera. You see the drawer? I have a drawer right here that's got multiple things in this drawer that I just reached to. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, it's in the bottom drawer. Anyway, nobody's gonna put their hands on me. I can promise you that much. I have multiple weapons right next to me, okay? It's fine. But anyway. So you don't, there's not even a doubt as to who you choose, your spouse, partner, or your children. Derp. You know, that's all there is to it. So I'm gonna keep going with this. And that's a good point, Noel. Some moms are breeders and not mothers. Some mothers are not built to be mothers, period. It is ajar, just slightly. I'm letting a little air through. Don't worry, guys. I'm safe. I promise you, especially where I live at. But thank you for being worried, Ray. I appreciate you very much. So yeah, guys, that's not a question. So anyway, I'm gonna move forward with what she's saying.
That maybe there was a reason, as much as I hate to imagine a mom doing this, but is that the reason that she chose, in the end, that she chose her husband over her son? Because Sebastan could have been a thorn in their relationship. Yeah, it's very sick, Mar. Yeah, ew, exactly. Ew. So the second thing, I'm sorry.
Now, to go back to that real quick. We see where they live. Beautiful home. I mean, it's beautiful inside and out. Very, very high-end neighborhood. Chris obviously has money, guys. I'm just saying he has money. I'm not saying she doesn't, because she has a job too, but I have a feeling that most of this came from him. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's all right. But I'm just saying, some people, they like their comfort and security more than anything in their life. That's sad, but it's true. And it does happen very often, Bonnie, very often. So if somebody sees the point where maybe this relationship may be ending, but I will do anything I can do to keep this relationship, even if it means my child has to leave. If that is the thorn, if that is the problematic issue that's going on in the relationship, because he's a different child. He's not like every other child. He's an amazing kid, in my opinion, and it would be more fun to be around him than just a boring old child. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that very much. Okay. And the fact that Chris has been married multiple times says that his relationships may not always work out for reasons we don't know, but that could have been an issue. And maybe he said, hey, I can't do this anymore. I'm not into this anymore. It's time for me to move on. Maybe he's one of those guys that gets bored after a period of time, because they do exist too. That could be another option, guys. And if that's the case, and he said to her, you know, I'm done with this. Well, why? Well, it's just, I'm not comfortable with the situation with Sebastan. You know, I'm not. And these aren't facts, guys, at all. This is me just saying a what if situation. That's all. And she's like, well, you know, I'll do whatever it takes to hold this together, because she wants to keep this. She wants to keep her life. She's happy with her life. Did you hear Seth say he doesn't have to pay child support? I found that very odd that he doesn't have to pay. I think he is probably way behind. Very possible. Very possible. I mean, he's got an $80,000-$90,000 motorhome, a beautiful $600 and some odd $1,000 home.
Seth doesn't. Chris does.
Oh, Seth. I thought that was Chris. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Seth said she
doesn't have to pay child support.
He doesn't have to pay child support. Yeah, that is odd. Sorry, Kiko. I got so many names running through my head at the same time thinking about Chris. But anyway, that's different. It is different. So that's a what if situation that could have happened. And she said, no, I'll deal with it. I'll handle it. We're not splitting up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And here we are. Yeah, I think it's Bonnie. I think Bonnie's right. I think it's because they have shared custody, 50-50. You know what I'm saying? But I had that with my ex-creature, and she still had to pay me child support. So I think it's based on them coming to they may have come to their own personal agreement outside of the courts, which does happen. Welcome, Niles. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. Gentleman Jack, welcome. Good to see you as well. Not really not really out of the arm. If they got child 50-50 and she may get help from the state through the development. Yeah, I was going to say he may get like SSI or SSD because of the autism thing, and he's got the chromosomal issue as well. That's very possible. That could be why he doesn't have to pay child support. I don't know. We don't know their the private details. But here's the thing. Another thing that I've been thinking about, welcome Cunning, good to see you, is if Seth goes to live with them, with her, or with Seth, Jesus, if Sebastan goes to live with Seth on a permanent basis, that income is going to transfer to wherever Sebastian's living. I don't know what Sebastan, if any, is getting every month because of his disabilities, but that could be something she's relying on. Okay. Not saying she is, I'm saying could, along with some other things. Thank you, Brandy, so much for that. And thank you to all of you guys that have donated to these links here to support this channel. It keeps me going, guys, and you guys are amazing. So, again, these are thoughts, guys. They're not facts. They're thoughts about things that could be possibly reasonings behind certain things. That's all. But I want to get through what Sweetie's saying here because it is kind of interesting. So
the second thing I want to say too, that really matters. So there's a lot of speculation. When was he last seen? 6:30 on Sunday night. Law enforcement has him on camera leaving the steakhouse. They drive for 9 minutes back to the house. Now, about a week after this information was uncovered, I guess, from law enforcement, or it's actually, no, about a week into the investigation, then Katie comes out and says, hey, by the way, I have dash cam footage. So Sebastan is actually heard in the vehicle on dash cam during that drive home. So we know for sure, 100%. And so far, my source has been on point. Okay, it came out in the Nancy Grace. Everything that I've been told so far has been top notch. But that's the last time he was heard from. So I'm guessing once they returned home, 6:30 something that night is when the trash happened. He's seen taking the trash to the end of the driveway. Now, there's one detail I didn't tell you guys about that trash thing. So the person who shared that information with me, she told me that she herself didn't actually see that part, but when she talked to law enforcement, she said, so did you guys actually see him taking out the trash at 6:30? And law enforcement officer says, yes, he is for sure on camera at around 6:30-ish. So he's actually seen, though, taking out the trash. So we know that those two sightings, well, his voice in the car, but then the trash, taking out the trash, both of those are valid. So we can honestly say that's like the last time he's heard from. Okay, so things I've been wondering lately about this whole cockamamie story that Sebastan just up and leaves in the middle of the night. Where did he go? His footprints, I guess, were found, according to this recent dispatch call, supposedly like a size. And this is if I heard it correctly, okay? But there was footprints seen around this retention pond. Well, they end up draining it, and there's no sign of Sebastan anyway.
did they ever find JLR? What are you talking about?
Right? I was like, huh?
JLR's missing?
Uh-oh.
Come on now.
What the heck?
Where are you getting that from, rangefinder? He just did a live, I don't think too long ago, did he?
It was earlier this morning.
I don't have to follow up with that after this. That's interesting. Yeah, he was live this morning. Right, Jackie. Go find him, Dago. He went back to Florida. Is he done?
That's right. He did say he was going back to Florida.
Well, then he probably headed home. And he'll probably stop somewhere on the way because he always does. Okay, everybody's saying he's heading back this morning. Gotcha. Okay, moving on.
Where? Let's see. Oh yeah, about the cockamamie story. What I have trouble with is like, I feel like Katie's really boxed herself in with her answers, right? He wasn't a runner. He never in the past had done something like this before. He wasn't allowed to talk to people online. Like every possible out, she's blocked herself into saying, you know, that wasn't like part of the equation. But
and I agree with her. There has been an answer to everything. Any possibility that could have happened with this child, they have an answer for it. I'm not saying that that's made up. I'm just saying there's been an answer and an excuse for every possibility that could have happened with him. We know that, okay? That could just be that those are the answers and they're facts. Or it could be that they're excuses that were made as a narrative. We don't know, guys. I'm not accusing. I'm just saying, again, we don't know what the hell's going on either. So, it's interesting.
we're supposed to believe he left the home without shoes, without a jacket. There's never been mention of a jacket, and just left town wherever he went. It just doesn't ring true. One of the concerns I have is like the first couple weeks of this investigation, I feel like they were more so viewing it as like a runaway. I hate to imagine that being the case, but that's what I'm hearing. For example, the cars were never impounded. Why on earth would the cars have never been impounded? This is a very suspicious situation. And then it seems like Chris and Katie might have totally outsmarted them just by way of covering their tracks. Again, with the digital, like the electronic stuff, you know, your phone. Think if your phone is showing that you're in the location you're supposed to be at, then
the one thing I said this in the very beginning of this case when we looked into them is that they both have military backgrounds. That's important because military, you learn some things, okay? That's all I'm saying. And that Katie works for a security company. You know, I don't know what their intelligence levels are when it comes to technological type things or this and that, but it would be hard, in my opinion, I think, to outsmart the police. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion, but you know, we don't know. Okay, cutting. I'll check that out. Not yet, Molly. I'm working on it.
cops aren't going to, I feel like, look as deeply into you. And if Chris's phone was at that RV park that he claims he was at, then they're really not going to, I guess my concern is they might not look as deeply into him as they should. We all know he could have borrowed a car. Maybe there's relevance to this whole Uber story that maybe he, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he was contacted and like, hey, I did something I can't undo. I need help. You know, could it have been something like that? I don't know. There's so much to this. It's crazy. But okay, so the first order of business. Here we go. Let's listen to the Nancy Grace comparison. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing the Nancy Grace stuff, but I just want to share with you this bold-faced lie. Lie number one. You guys need to see this or to hear it. I mean.
Hey, Wisdom. Welcome. Good to see you, dear.
Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastan with a belt.
That was actually several years ago, and it was
To Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Proudfoot, what happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you were asking me, Katie. Sebastan, he got in trouble. He got caught lying. And I asked him, I said, hey, you know, you got to have a punishment for this. He said, yes, sir. And I said, okay. So I gave him a swat with a belt on his buttocks on the outside of his clothes, one swat.
What did he lie about?
Honestly, I don't remember at the time, but it was probably something dealing with school because that's majority where his issues lie.
Did he have other issues at school?
Some behavioral stuff, but nothing too crazy.
What kind of behavioral stuff?
He has a hard time, he's like awkwardly socially blending in with students. So it's a little, he's trying to figure out how to do it, but respecting people's space. He gets a little too close. And then kids don't
Yes,
really
they did,
too
Vic.
much, so it kind of causes an issue. But he'll not stop and he continues on. So then it causes an issue. And instead of being honest about it, he'll lie like, no, I didn't. Okay, Sebastan.
we're lying about doing work.
Was that the first time? Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
It happens, sometimes, especially.
Ask me the hard questions. By God, let's get these hard questions out.
Well,
Sorry, but I just.
Well, let me start. Okay.
Just so you're tracking. Now we're going to go over what they said originally. So you just heard what they said on Nancy Grace. Well, now this is what I'm sharing with you now is like 2 to 3, maybe even 4 days before the Nancy Grace interview. So you can see the stark contrast because it is very notable.
Have you ever had CPS called on you before?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't have to go into it, elaborate or anything like that. That was the question that I had. And that happens, sometimes, especially when you have a child who is, has special needs and stuff. That's hard.
I'll be honest with you. I've had CPS called on me in 2 states, New Mexico and Tennessee.
And so did that include with Sebastan?
Tennessee was Sebastan, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In fact, Sebastan here, like I said, I got nothing to hide. So Sebastan went to school one day because we were at the house. He got in trouble. He didn't have a belt on. I was like, "Where's your belt?" And got it. Whack. Got him. So he goes to school and he tells the teacher. They're mandatory reporters. So the teacher reports it. That afternoon, CPS shows up to the house while we're actually sitting down to eat dinner. Now, mind you, 15-year-old child, he's not real happy because he's in trouble. So he's being.
Now, we heard in another interview, there it is. He says it there. Then he turns around and says in another interview that never happened. Make up your damn mind, bro. That's all I'm saying. It did or it didn't. It did or it didn't. It did or it didn't. You can't keep changing your story. This is why people are looking at these people like they're crazy or like they're responsible for something. And that's the point. If you would stick with one story and tell that same story every time you talk to people, nobody would have ever looked at you in any way. But that hasn't happened. So here we are.
Punished. So he shows, he makes a report. They come to the house, and the lady who comes to the house is the same lady we've had. She's had a case before. Now, the case that was before was something that didn't even happen, and it's like 3 stories that were shoved into one. When they finally got it debunked, they were like, "Oh, he got so mixed up in telling one story, it mixed into 3, and it caused a commotion." Well, they canceled that out. So the one on me, she shows up. And I said, "Hey, how you doing? It's her again." She's like, "Oh, hey." She goes, "Hey, I already don't." She's like, "Don't tell me anything, but I'm gonna tell you what I know happened." And I said, "Okay." She goes, "Boom, boom, boom."
Frankly, I couldn't believe how much on good behavior Chris was. Hold on. Can you guys? I hope there's no problem with my service. Are you guys there? You can hear me okay? Okay, good. I couldn't believe what good behavior Chris was on, as far as not being as cocky and brash and rude as normal. It was like he was far more obedient is the only way I can describe how they actually both were acting. Katie specifically struck me as like a docile, submissive, like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am," to every single question. I'm going, what? She giving like 1-word answers. "Your son is missing." Yes, subdued. There you go. Great way to characterize it. Very subdued. And it's like you have this opportunity to go on a national syndicated radio show or podcast, we'll call it. And you're going to give like these 1-word answers. She was emotionless to me. She had dead eyes. There was nothing left in her. It was almost like everybody thinks I'm guilty. I am guilty. I don't care what you think of me anymore. Look on her face. That was what I felt anyway. That's what
that's the best characterization of that I've heard yet.
Received in that time that she was on there. Oh, guys, this is so upsetting. It's like, how can a mother leave the area when her child is missing? Again, I revisit that. Now, one thing I want to say real quick. Do you guys remember last week when I had Donna on? I think it was on Friday. And she said that when she was looking into this situation for very, very brief, she hasn't gone real deep into it, but she said that she saw like a lake with what appeared like an appendage to it. I don't know. All of a sudden it struck me yesterday. Horn Lake, Mississippi, where they are. Just the name alone almost seems like what she's describing. Is it possible the reason they're in Horn Lake, Mississippi is because they want a close vantage point to overlook where he's at? If I was JLR, that's where I would focus my search. I'm not kidding. Especially the fact that it's over the border. By the way, I've heard in Mississippi that you can't extradite from there. Have you guys been hearing that? Yeah, if that's true, I don't even know how this is going to work out in the end. Okay, so back to the Nancy Grace thing. Sorry. Talking about, there's no security cameras. She is a Brinks security installation tech. You mean to tell me she doesn't have any security cameras? I promise you, it would absolutely shock me if this woman, or if Chris and Katie do not have security cameras that they took down just in time, because I do believe this was more than likely, this was a very planned disappearance. And what seems to make sense now is in the night, this is what I think anyway, and I could be completely wrong, okay? In the night, something happened. Maybe she decided to, hate to say, end his life. And then she called for backup. Somebody very close to this case has said, let me get it verbatim, hold on. Verbatim, it was, I think if Chris is involved, it's his family, and they are covering up for something that Katie did. Specifically, that's what was said, someone very, very close. So is it possible that when this could have happened, she had the burner phone, she had everything in line, and the help that she received was from his family in some way, and there was a handover? Because think, like, if a person has night vision goggles, would they need much light to go and grab a deceased person? He weighs what? Is it 100 or 120 pounds? Can anybody tell me? I can't remember if it's 1 or 120, but anyway, strong person. And by the way, she was former MMA. I would say she's probably got some guns on her. Ooh, I shouldn't say guns. YouTube didn't like that. Could there have been a handover that way? And then the person, whoever it is that helped her, parked over by the construction area. And that's why the scent ends there. For some reason, that just kind of makes sense to me. All right, let's go back to Katie's stories. Here we go. Katie's stories. Trying to remember. Oh, here it is. So one of the people that lives in the neighborhood was told by a close by neighbor this, okay? So I'm going to share it with you. Let's make sure you can see. All right. I was told by a close by neighbor that morning she saw Katie outside with police when she went to take her kids to school. She stopped and asked what happened. Katie told her. She told Sebastan to go to bed around 9 p.m. She fell asleep on the couch, never mentioning the conversation between her and Chris. Woke up around 11:30, went in to check on Sebastan, which she previously said she didn't do anymore now that he's older. Remember, she even said that, I think, on Smiley's, that it's understandable why she wouldn't check on him anymore because he's older. Teenage boys, discovery, whatever you want to call it. He must have been awake because his light or a light was on, according to this neighbor's Ring camera. She said she told Sebastan to go to bed. He had to get up the next morning. She walks across her house to go to her room to go to bed. As she's walking through the kitchen, she hears a loud noise. Boy, is this a different rendition. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. She hears a loud noise. She yells back at Sebastan, asking him what that was. He says, nothing, Mom, go to bed. So she does. According to the neighbor close to them, the Ring camera shows the lights going on and off because it's so dark. This neighbor also mentioned seeing a silhouette in the front room, possibly dining room, window for a couple minutes. Then all the lights go off. Neither Chris nor Katie have ever mentioned any of that. So that story was a bit different, right? Never mentioned. So first of all, never mentioning the conversation between her and Chris, that she then fell asleep, woke up around 11:30. There's nothing about her reading for her college, her DeVry classes. The whole story is different. As we know, when a story changes, it's obviously not the truth. So I think she's covering for a window of time that was potentially from 9 to like midnight. That's really when I think this happened. I could be totally wrong, but I think that's when she was in the mode of doing something. And then from midnight to 6 something, it's the cleaning up of the whole story so that it sounds good, so that it's tightened up, so that it kind of rolls off her tongue okay. If you can notice, she keeps Chris there all the time as her, I think it's kind of like her safe haven. She knows that if she has her little attack dog with her, then she can sort of hide behind his little carefully crafted answers. That's my opinion anyway. Oh man, there was one other thing I was just going to say about this that I thought of. Give me a second, guys. It's like as soon as I look at the comments, I'm like, okay, wait, that reminds me of something. But what was it that something reminded me of? Yeah, it's a total script. And it's so rehearsed. It reminds me of the Candace and Don Wells, that she went to her grandma and grandma gave her a piece of candy. It's like the same story. Just this, it's just the same in the sense that it's rehearsed. There's no dynamic to it. It's like, bam, 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 this is what happened. Well, now we see that there was several different versions of the story that she's given people. And I do believe that this person is a neighbor, like for sure. And they're all talking. They're talking without a shadow of a doubt. All right, let's go back to this. Check this out. Let me first give you some context. Okay, so this clip you're going to see, this is early on. This is the interview where they're just showing hands, the hands of Chris and Katie for their interview. And in this clip, you're going to see they are talking about like why they can't leave the home. Obviously, that was all BS too. So let's watch this clip, okay?
We've been asked to by the law enforcement agencies and nobody involved.
He's not a runner. And any places, I guess, I know you guys have been told to stay in the house, right? Just in case he comes home.
We are doing what we've been asked to do by the law enforcement agencies and nobody involved. I'm not going to divulge anything more than that.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to ask, I guess, next is if you were to go out and search right now, if people want to help search, what's
Exactly, Sherry. Thank you.
that he could maybe be at?
Anywhere and everywhere. At this point,
It's been 11 days. He could be anywhere.
what we've been asked to do by the law enforcement agencies and everybody involved.
He's not a runner.
Guys, it's just the story just doesn't add up. If you notice, throughout the various interviews that Chris and Katie have done, Nancy Grace, this interview, Smiley Stories interview, there's always these what I would refer to as like soft spots.
Got you, 12 gauge. Hold on 1 second, folks.
What I mean by that is Chris will in some way block the question by saying, oh, we can't talk about that. You know what I'm talking about? So what I wanted to do, and maybe you guys can help me with this, is I wanted to compile a list of every time he says, oh, we can't talk about that. That's, where it's like privileged information, quote, that kind of thing. So here's the soft spots I've come up with so far. And I know there's way more than what I have. So please, like I said, when you think of one, let me know. The soft spots I see are when he's asked about times and dates that he visited the home. He really, and this is so on purpose, gives the most ambiguous BS answer. He's so unclear, but it's about the times and the dates that he visited during the month of February. He says that he visited, but then he's not going to go into detail when he actually did. Another one was about her work van on the Nancy Grace episode. Remember? Oh, yes, that's right. Pink butterfly. So the work van as well. Well, we didn't get permission to give the, what was it? Make and model. Like nobody's asking for that. Come on. But he just gets really protective over certain information. The other one that I just saw Pink Butterfly say was about the medicine. And this would have been in the Duchess interview. One of the, I don't know if it was the first or second one she did, but where the medicine is brought up. And it's for sure a soft spot for him because that's like, what is it? That's a HIPAA violation. Or if I talk about it, it's a violation of HIPAA. I don't know how he phrased it. But what that tells me is these various things that are soft spots for him, that's where the truth is. These make up the architecture of what exactly it is that took place the night of February 25th / early morning of February 26th. So let's figure out what those soft spots are. And I think the story is going to emerge. They think they're so smart. They're not that smart. Yeah, HIPAA schmippa, CSI. Amen. Okay, guys, one more thing I have to say. And one of my wonderful, amazing subs, she is Debbie. Debbie, if you're in here, say hello. She thought of something really interesting. And that was, so why on earth did they call the sheriff's office versus calling 911? And she brought up such a fantastic point. And that was, so if you call a sheriff's office, it's not going to showcase like exactly your location information. But when you call 911, all that information is going to, I think, come across the 911 operator screen. In the past, with a lot of these cases, it seems like the actual perpetrator will always do whatever they can do to not have to actually place that 911 call. So in the case of Don and Candace, it was that, hey, Ziggy, it was that John got off the phone and placed the call on behalf of Candace about Summer. With Barry Morphew, he had Mallory call and place that. I think, was it Mallory or was it the neighbor? Shoot, sorry guys, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, the idea is you have someone else place that 911 call versus yourself. And this seems to go right in line with all these other cases. Really crazy to me, but I thought that was so interesting. So in this case, the sheriff's office, by calling the sheriff's office, it wouldn't have shown his location. So could he have even been on his way back? Let's just say hypothetically, back to Memphis or wherever he was, wherever his RV or his fifth wheel was parked. Could it be that he was on his way back? Maybe even had, shall I say, a body in tow. Like I said, I hate to go there, but I think that's the realistic way to look at it at this point. It's 4 weeks in. Where is Sebastan? And they're not talking. Anyway, there's some more points I want to make. That whole bit in the past where she says that she didn't check on him, that the last they spoke, so I'm talking about Katie. So where Katie says that, that night she didn't check on him, but then she hears this thud. In the past, she said the last time she talked to him was at 9 p.m. when she put him to bed. And this time she says that she, yelled out, "Bubba, did you fall out of bed?" "No, ma'am." "Well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep." Sorry. Sorry, I hate to do the impression, but that was completely new. The story didn't go like that before. Yeah, they've stopped talking about the three-way call. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Oh my goodness. So guys, where I would honestly be looking, I would go.
Okay. So thank you, sweetie, for putting that together. There's more to it, but it's stuff we've already had seen and heard. Molly sent me this, which is interesting to me. Hold on here. Oh, well, come on now. There we go. Open it up. Boom. All right, all right, all right. So, for those of you that were interested, it was brought up something about an Uber, okay, which is a new piece of information. Are you still there, Mama Bear, by chance?
Absolutely.
Good. I'm glad I didn't put you to sleep. Good, good, good.
Well, getting close. I'm glad you
Wait a minute.
stopped it when you did.
What did I just see in the chat?
What?
Hold on a minute.
Kim Marin's brother's birthday is Saturday.
And did I just see that Josie's birthday's today?
No. Did I miss that?
Somebody at the bottom said happy birthday, Josie. Yeah, the Uber thing is quite interesting.
Oh, it must be. Yep, she just said yes today. Well, happy birthday, Josie.
Don't let me forget before we end, Mama Bear. You know what happens.
I'll try.
Thank you. So, in regards to this Uber thing, which is a newer, again, another new piece of information. I did, Molly. That's what we're looking at right now. Thank you again for this. Anonymous member, Bo Betty, the agent asked me and a neighbor a few doors down if anybody in my family had requested an Uber ride Monday. I said no. We've never been in an Uber. However, I work for Uber Eats. She said, did you go to work Monday? I said no. With everything going on that night, I didn't feel comfortable leaving, she said. It would have been early Monday morning, like before the sun came up. I said, oh, then no. I only work at nights. She said it was an Uber, not Uber Eats. I said no. That's when I knew an Uber car had been on our road. So I asked other neighbors, one on another road in the neighborhood said that they did not receive a call, but my neighbor a few doors down had the exact same call and question. A neighbor on the corner of our connecting streets said she didn't get the call, but she had seen the lights. The one on Nick Bear's report was on her camera going towards Kellen Lane, I'm sorry, and a car could see car lights shining across their driveway, then backing up to leave. That was around 4 a.m. Imagine that. So here's the thing, you guys. I talked about this in the beginning of the when this case hit. That's a good question, Steve. Where are Katie's parents? Mr. David Payne is Katie's father. I don't know about her mom, but I do know him and his Facebook. Why would it be so hard for Chris to leave his phone, his truck, and his camper at the work site that he was at, get into an Uber, and be Ubered here? We know they have money, so the cost is not an issue. And then Uber back. Now, I'm sure that they would check Uber's records. Police would, okay? And that would be something that would be important. I don't know what the laws are as far as Uber's records. If you're allowed to get them to give them to you, I don't know how that would work, okay? Because I've never looked into something like that. But yes, Molly does have a YouTube channel, MIA. If you guys want to throw that link out here for Molly's channel, please do. I appreciate that very much. So that's an interesting point to me. It's been talked about, yeah, if they were told. That's a good point, Victoria. They would have to get a warrant, get the records from Uber to say, hey, was there an Uber that was picked up and brought to this address? It's possible, folks. It's very possible. that he Ubered home in the middle of the night and Ubered back. And if the Uber picked him up, it could have picked him up at 4 a.m. And there it is. There it is, Molly. Thank you. On an open call for 3 hours. What were they talking about? As he was driving or being Ubered back here. Come on, guys. These things can happen. Yeah, you would need a warrant to get those, probably, Ray. If it was talked about. That's the thing. And that's the point that Victoria made. Something is going on in this case, you guys. There's something nefarious that is going on top of the fact that the child's missing. There's something else going on. At this point, a lot of us creators looked at this and said, well, he was abducted. He ran away. The parents aren't involved on either side. That was in the very, very beginning, okay? So we look at things like we always do. We break things down like we always do. We start getting phone records or phone calls, and not records, I'm sorry. We start seeing people, multiple creators dispersed to this scene to do things, and they're investigating this as much as we all are. They're seeing things on the ground. We're looking at their stuff while they're there. You know, Clue's been out doing this, that, and everything else. We're looking at what she's doing. I think she means he left his phone open in the camper. Well, yeah, well, that's possible too. That makes a lot of sense, Moonlit. That he could have dialed that number, turned it on, and left it go. There's no way to tell if they're talking. It doesn't take much to figure that out, you guys. Think about it. And there are burner phones that you could have to actually have another conversation on, okay? Exactly, Aeneas. Open call. What about these fantastic cell pings? Does it ping? Listen, who just said that? Where'd it go? Demon. It's gonna ping there if the phone's there and they're opening a call. You know what I'm saying? No, if he left his phone on the call with her to make it. Yeah, that's what I get what you're saying, Molly. I got it now. I'm sorry. Either way, okay? Yeah, Seth has 2 phones. I'm sure Katie probably has 2 phones because she has one that she works with and one that she has for private. And Chris probably has 2 phones. And regardless, they're probably going to check all of those anyway. There could still be burner phones that nobody knows they have, okay? These things are possible. They really are. That's a thing. Thank you. There's Molly's link right there, guys. Thank you very much for that, Mama Bear.
You're welcome. And she's getting very close to 1,000.
Yes, she is. So, guys, please check it out. She got some really cool stuff over there. She's very, very talented, as you all have seen, with the stuff she brings over here. So, please show a little bit of love for Miss Molly. She deserves it. I'm just saying, you guys, these things can happen. Pick Me says did say. I also believe they both had burner phones. I feel like they called each other and just left the line open until Chris got back. That's something I thought about in the very beginning, for sure.
Oh, that's so cool, Noni.
I agree, Aeneas. What'd you say, Mom Bear?
Noni's 39th wedding anniversary is today. They met when she was 14 and he was 16.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Congratulations, Noni. That's so about as romantic as you can get.
Great. Love it.
Yeah, and Sherry's right. Seth, there's proof that Seth was on duty. He's a jailer. There's cameras all over the inside of that jail showing that he was there during this time. So there's that. Okay. 12 gauge says this sings I got 2 phones, one for the drugs and one for the he's singing it. I'm sorry. That's good. That was good, 12 gauge. Also, he could have rented a car under someone else's name or borrowed a car. That's already been talked about. He could have borrowed somebody else's car. I'm sure they're going to talk to these people, and that person will have to tell them yay or nay. They married at those ages, she said. That's awesome, Noni. Wow. You don't see that happening to me too much lately. I can't look past certain things anymore, guys. I just can't. I can't make excuses for certain things anymore. As a parent, as a human being, there's certain things that you can't just look past and say, okay, well, I mean, it could have been that maybe. No, I can't anymore, because these things are in our faces, guys. Just because Seth was at work doesn't mean he can't be involved some way with planning of this. I mean, anything's possible, Lindsay. It is. It really is. I agree. I don't see him looking as, what are the words I'm trying to use? Because I'm not trying to say guilty, but Seth does not look as blamable for things, I guess, for lack of better terms, as these two do, because his story has been the same thing. His actions have been to find his son, nothing else. He's not gone into anything else. Those two, whatever interviews they're doing, they don't make sense. Why would you talk about the things they're talking about during their interviews? There's nothing there, you know? Happy anniversary, Miss Teresa S. That's awesome. Demon says, Dago, from what I just took from your words, they could have just had their phones connected, throwing off pings, because you can't tell if they were actually talking during that time. Barry, yeah, that's my opinion. There's no way to, I mean, in my opinion, there's no way to tell if the phones were connected to each other. He called her, she picked up, and he left. He sets his phone down, make sure it's plugged in, of course, so it doesn't go dead. And off he goes. So the phone is going to ping from that location, as well as hers is going to ping from home where she was. And then he gets into an Uber, a car, another vehicle of some sort, and off he goes. That's okay. No problem, Mama Bear. That's just it's an opinion, Demon, not a fact or what I truly wholly think. I'm just saying these are things that are possible, okay? Okay. I have believed from the start that Katie is to blame for whatever has happened to Sebastan. I still believe that. Right. A lot of people feel that way. I'm trying to figure out what the motive could or would be. Yes, happy anniversary, Teresa. And I've had that thought too, Tomboy, that he was hidden somewhere. Again, motive, why? I'm trying to put that into my mind as well, but still. Victoria says, my frustration is that people are comparing everything to themselves and what they would do. Some people panic and try to stay positive and as calm as possible. I mean, I agreed. I understand that, Victoria, but I'm like, the things I'm talking about right now are just what if situational. Okay, to try to make some things that have gone on make some sense. That's all. Again, I'm not saying that this is what I wholeheartedly believe at this point either, but they did bring in my understanding, the Secret Service to break down the digital, all the digital stuff, and that's what they're good at. That you can't fool them. So we'll see. Welcome back, Cassie. How long has he been missing? We're the 26th. Yeah, the 26th was a month. So 4 full weeks. Right, it's their jobs. So like I said, I agree. If there's an inconsistency, they will find it, period. But I mean, there's ways around everything, you guys, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they could have done this. And if Ellie is not really looking at them, they're not really looking at them hard, then they're not going to probably pay that extra attention to those little things. If they start looking at them, then yeah. And that's when they find these things, unfortunately. Sometimes it takes too long, but I don't know. But they have, listen, guys, they have allowed them to leave the area. You know, of course, Katie came back, but There would be a lot involved in this. That's something else to understand, you guys. I've thought about that too. There's cameras everywhere. There's people everywhere. Cameras and people see everything and hear everything. So you would have to sit down and plan this whole thing out and make sure that you have covered every bit of this to not get caught. Okay? That takes time. And you got to be pretty smart. And you have to have some resources. Well, I don't know how smart either one of them are. I know they have resources and they could have had the time. I don't know, but I'm not comfortable putting blame on them because as of yet, because law enforcement has not said one word about them. That's why. And now if law enforcement would have even mentioned it, threw something out there, I'd have been like, okay, let's look this way now. Now, one of my biggest theories, I hadn't said it, but I will today. We heard that after looking into some of the documents that were put out, that Katie, during the divorce with Seth, she documented things that we don't know if it's true or false, but it was never founded. Otherwise, Seth would not be working where he is right now. And it was basically counts of abuse against the child and herself, verbal, emotional, and physical. Okay. Seth works for Davidson County Sheriff's Department as a jailer. He carries a weapon. If those things were true, I don't think that he'd be able to do any of that, in my opinion. Therefore, right, Carito. So it's hard to believe that those things that were listed in that document are founded, or that they really happened. Okay, and then there's another side to that where Seth comes in his defense and says, "I can't believe that this was said." He explains everything. He explains how he was the primary caregiver when Katie was enlisted in the Navy. Still, she was never around. He was always home with Sebastan, taking care of everything, doing this, doing that, which couldn't explain a good. Could make for a very good relationship between him and his son. Therefore, and he seems when he explains it, which it could be a show, I'm not saying it is, but he explains how his understanding of his son's issues are and how he feels for his son because of those issues. Okay. And at the same, and we also hear him explain his son as being having no issues. He doesn't treat him that way. Katie, on the other hand, explains Sebastan is being a complete invalid child that can't do anything on his own. Okay. He could not have a use and carry a gun. Well,
He could not have abuse on his record and carry a gun.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like any kind of domestic, they take any weapons you can have. That's the end of it. So now, that being said, after all of those allegations that were made, we come down the road a few years, and now we have the fact that Sebastan was supposed to go live with Seth. Now, this woman that puts all these allegations against this man is going to allow her child to go live with the same person? Does that make sense to anybody? I don't think so. I don't think I will. It doesn't make sense to me. Not to say that she wasn't, but it just doesn't make sense. Seth left him alone. The neighbors said that his neighbors and they say Sebastan would wander around. It was in the documents, and I get that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. But again, would any mother allow their child to go live with somebody like that on a permanent basis? She seems to be a bit of a helicopter parent. So I am one. Okay. You guys know this. And if you don't, Mama Bear does. I'm a helicopter parent. I say Caden's name more times a day than I say my own. So again,
seriously,
as a helicopter parent, I would not allow for that to happen. It just doesn't make sense. So that's all I'm saying. So Seth is the biological dad. Who is the Chris guy? That's the stepfather, 12 gauge. You're good to go, bro. Don't worry about it. So that's how it is. Carrito Dago question: does the police force have call FBI or National Guard for help, or can FBI and National Guard just come in? They have to be. Typically, they're asked, "Can you assist in this or that?" They don't just walk in unless I don't think they do that at all. Well, Seth would be smarter in regards to talking too much. He's in law enforcement, just saying and not blame him, but most definitely anything you say can be used against you, and that's absolute fact. Thank you, Vicky. So there we are, back to that. That's my thought on those situations, okay? And I have had those thoughts, but back to my what my theory was that I didn't talk about yet. If for some reason Katie does not want Seth to have Sebastan, it's been stated, and Sweetie just looked and mentioned that too in her little thing there. That is it possible that Chris's family is helping them to do something, whether it be to hide Sebastan, whether it be to do whatever went on? Okay. Yes. And I'm going to say yes, it's possible that anybody can do anything in this case because everything's on the table. It's very hard to say no to that because we don't know them. That's all there is to it. We don't know them. We don't know what conversations were had, what thoughts they have, what the plans could have been or not been. All we know is what we're getting told to us by these specific people. That leads to a problem because there's no way to know the truth, because there's always three sides to a story. There's one, his side, her side, and then the truth is in the middle somewhere. That's the way I've always thought. Okay. So, she didn't just make Alec. I know. Just saying. That's what I'm saying. Is there was some corroboration from other people. Agreed. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say for sure what's what. Maybe there were some issues at some point, but maybe they just weren't as bad as what she's saying, or maybe it's all out, full out, 100% what she said it was in those documents. That's all. We don't know because we weren't there. We didn't live with them during their marriage, things like that. So it's hard to make those decisions. But could she have done something, put this whole thing together to hide him? Absolutely. It's even a possibility that Seth was involved in somehow. I've looked at both sides of this, you guys. I'm not just looking at one person. I don't see as much of a possibility with Seth at all, in my opinion, as I do with the other two, because they've been so strange about this. He hasn't really. He just says what he says, and that's that. He doesn't really care what anybody else thinks. He's out there looking every single day, and that's that. You know what I mean? And that's a big one. That Seth has been the only one that we've seen that's out looking. They've stated they are. We don't see them though. Illuminati's been out on foot, boots on the ground with Cletus doing this for days and days and days. Never ever have they seen the Proudfoots ever. So I don't know. Yes, I got a notification as well, Victoria. Thank you, though, that the public raised the funds for the defense experts, which is interesting to me, but thank you. That's okay. No worries to interrupt. You were fine. I don't know where to go with this or what to think at this point, and I haven't. This is so. I hate when I'm on the fence with something and I can't go one side or the other. I hate that. But I don't like to make a decision based on minimal information or not having the full bit of info from both sides of the story. That's all. What do you I've been talking nonstop, Mama Bear. What do you think about all of this? Please, give me some info or talk to them a little bit so I can shut up.
Oh goodness. I I don't know. I'm pretty much on the same page as you.
Well, let me ask you this, since not to put you
Okay.
out there with all of that.
No, that's fine.
What do you think with all, because you've been here but if not, you've watched them at least. What do you think of all the interviews with the Proudfoots? What's your opinion on them?
I think that there's a possibility that maybe because with as many times as Chris has either spoke over Katie or interrupted her and finished her sentence or whatever the case may be, I almost wonder if he isn't covering for her.
And I've said that. I agree with you. Go ahead.
If something, I don't feel like it was an intentional thing. I think maybe Sebastian had a meltdown or something. Things got out of hand and she tried to calm the situation and something happened and she
Like
panicked.
an accident type
Yeah.
scenario. Went too far with the punishment or something. Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought about that
And
too.
so, she called Chris but why they wouldn't just call, emergency services or whatever instead, I don't know, but I've not been in that situation, so I don't know where my mind would go if I was in that predicament. So,
Right. I can agree with that. It does make sense.
but I also find it pretty suspicious that in a month or two, he was supposed to, at the end of the school, he's supposed to go live with Seth.
Right.
This had been planned for the last 2 or 3 years, and then he just poof when it gets
And he was
close to that.
actually supposed to go a year ago, and per se, what Seth said was that he gave him another chance to straighten up his behavior before having him come live with him. So, but and see that in its sense almost sounds as if it was being used as a punishment situation. Now, because of the way he's acting, he has to go live with his dad. And
Yeah, and
it's
I don't like that. That's not
right.
cool.
That's my thing.
You
I
don't
do
pit one
agree.
parent against the other.
No, and it seems to be that there's always been. It may not have been talked about. They both did very well to not talk about it, but you can feel the tension in between the two.
Yeah. And the fact that they rarely talk, it seems, although Chris made it seem like they were, they
in the
talk all the
beginning,
time and they're all good buddies and pals, and then you
and
hear
then
Seth say, "I don't know, I haven't talked to him in a month." Like,
exactly,
huh?
and that was when the red flags started coming up for me, because initially we hear Chris is saying, "Oh, the parents are all together on this, and we're this and that," and they sound like they hang out and go out drinking and stuff together. And then the first time we hear from Seth, he's like, "I don't talk to them,"
Right.
and
12
everybody
days,
goes,
no, he did not have shoes on. He left apparently without any shoes.
"Right." So
He left between midnight and 6 a.m.
yes, sir. So, and those are flags in themselves. We're told by the parents that Sebastian is deadly afraid of the dark. That's an
And
autistic.
afraid of bugs.
He's afraid of bugs. No coat. It takes a tiny little flashlight like this or something on the keychain. That's not going to happen. Guys, it's a thing. Caden's 17 and he's bigger than me. Like, he could take on a horse by himself, but he won't go out outside at nighttime. He's petrified. I think it's because we live out in the jungle and he doesn't want one of these animals to attack him or something. But it just
Oh, with that big old gigantic owl thing in your backyard, I wouldn't either.
yeah, I don't know what the Mothman thing back there. It is what it is, but so I can't imagine Sebastian willingly doing this. Okay.
Right, and my other thing is okay, so he gets up, grabs his glasses, forgets his phone, forgets his shoes, and just walks out the door and locks it behind him. What?
Nope, that didn't happen that way.
No.
I'm sorry, but I've never believed that. An autistic child is very high functioning. He forgets his phone, which is one of his most beloved things on the planet. He forgets his shoes. That doesn't make any sense after the experience that Seth said he had with the fire ant situation. Said that he never did it again, and he never would. No, a coat. It's going to be freezing outside. If he did go outside, it was meant for a split-second scenario to come back in. But why didn't he? If that happened, I'm just saying if that happened.
Right. And Victoria, just yes, he did go to parks and he liked fishing and planting and growing, and yes, all those things got him dirty, but it is not a visible dirty. Does that make sense? Like,
His own mother said he hated getting
the
dirty.
mud versus, just a little bit of dust on you. That's completely different. My kids can get a little bit of dirt, dusty, but if they fall in a mud puddle and they're completely caked, they're going to freak.
Same here.
So, I mean, dirty, and there's different variations when it comes to autistic kids that applies to dirty.
Yeah, and they're a lot of them are the same but different at the same time in different aspects. I agree with you. There's no way that he locked that door. I've been arguing with myself over that 12 gauge for since the beginning. Molly says Seth said he had slippers. Did he have slippers at mom's too? Probably. Here's the thing though. Whose bare feet were they tracking from the house to the retention pond that were bare feet, not slippered, not shoe feet, bare feet? That's if we'd have never heard that about the tracks, the bare feet being tracked to the retention pond. If we would have never heard that story, things would be different in my mind right now. But we did. We heard the audio from it happening. Okay. That's a problem. That's a huge problem because we never heard that from them. They never told us that story until it seems like they almost had to. You see what I'm saying? Because it was going to come out eventually. Why didn't they tell us that in the beginning? Why did they not come out in their first interview and say, well, they tracked from our house to the retention pond, they tracked footprints with dogs? Okay, great. Why did we have to wait till the fourth interview or the fifth interview to hear something about that? It's almost as if the information's being released as it has to be because there's something new in every interview. Well, they're going to find out about this, so we better tell them ourselves. Okay? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. You tell it all at once and be honest with it right up front. I don't get it. I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder, Gene, if that's what this. And here's another thing I told you guys. Even before I even said I had any kind of suspicion towards anybody, watching the interview with the Proudfoots, watching Katie's part of the interview per se, Chris was just all happy-go-lucky, talking away about everything until one interview came up, and then all of a sudden there was a nervousness with him that was interesting to me. And Katie's crying and sobbing and all that is what pushed me over with her. I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad for her. And then it changed. And then she would just zone out, completely go somewhere different when they're talking. And then she would pop off with some kind of a cold remark. Okay. In a reaction to a question or something. And she's going off again, drifting off somewhere else all by herself. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the fact that you're sad and scared and that you miss your child? Or is it something different? Is there some kind of a guilt to this? Because her face is somewhere altogether different in her mind to me. Okay. Doesn't matter the circumstance. There's always going to be people defending the mom bone because of her being. That's a good point, Mountain Man. I mean, I agree with you on that. LA, good to see you. Yeah, that's another point. It's been a while too. Her latest interview, she's a completely different. The latest 2 interviews, they're both completely different. Okay, they've almost had separate personalities and different personalities for every interview. It's weird to me, which I hate to say this, but that almost brings up the point as to, is it scripted? Is this something you two worked out yourselves between the 2 of you? We're going to talk about it like this. We're going to say that. We're going to say this. We got to keep her cool. Keep a level head. Do they do that before these interviews? I don't want to say that they do, but I don't know. Okay? I don't know. It's driving me nuts. I want this kid to come home. That's another thing too. It does. She could be in a Valium trance. Who knows? Because of the trauma. Because this is traumatic. You know, if she's innocent of everything, even if she's not, there's still trauma. There's going to be mental trauma from this, and emotional. According to Donna, Seth told her that he thinks Katie is bipolar. She could be. We don't know. You know, these things, that's another thing, guys. Mental illnesses and emotional illnesses are hereditary, folks. They absolutely are. Chronic ADHD, anxiety, all that, it's definitely hereditary. Caden got it because he's got it bad because his mother and I both have ADHD, and it's bad. Okay, that's why Caden's is so bad, which is what rolled him up into the spectrum. So, be careful out there, Tomboy. Thank you for being with us today. I appreciate you very much. Katie's sister was diagnosed bipolar. Again, here we go. This is all hereditary, guys. One of my children is bipolar. There's bipolar. The creature, really bad. But one of my children is medicated, of course, but still, it is definitely genetic. That's facts. Cassie says high functioning anxiety, major depression disorder here. Very much. It is very much so. And there's a lot of different things that our genes produce, you know, that we don't realize. The last interview, Fox or News Nation, can't remember. Katie was very talkative about me. 100%. 100%. I agree. You still here, Bear? Nope, she left. All right, let's see here. Hold on. Well, I see where everybody is. It's possible, Josie. Very possible. That's possible too, Tracy. I do agree. Oh, real quick, I want to give you guys this real quick. The 2 bodies that were found yesterday, I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm going to give you an update on that real fast. I do believe they've been identified.
Now, we just learned the names of the people found dead in the Tennessee River in Perry.
Morning to you, Nicole. Yeah, the gruesome discovery was made Wednesday in Perry County, and we just learned the pair to be father and son. The TBI identified the father as 31-year-old Michael Ryan Tucker. The 4-year-old child was identified as Michael Allen Tucker. This investigation began when an employee of Rogers Group discovered the child in the river near Cypress Creek Road in Linden. Authorities quickly located his father nearby. Authorities believe the pair could have been fishing. Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems said neither the child or adult were wearing a life jacket. The sheriff also says the area is private property and considered to be a dangerous place for people to fish. For breaking news around the clock, you can always go to WKR.
Well, that's sad. Okay. Well, they identified him. Obviously, they're not either any of the people we were looking for. So that's sad. Father and son. One probably fell in, and the other, the father probably tried to save. So that's sad. Very sad. It is horrible, Bonnie. I agree. Nada says, that hold on a minute. I still don't know, Willows. Like I said, it's been listed as, it was on the news as strangulation and blunt force trauma is what I saw through mainstream media. I have not been able to find it myself, though, anywhere else for the Madeline Soto's cause of death. Are you still here, Mama Bear? Oh, I know what happened. She told me earlier. Agreed. But that could also have caused her to burn out from that too, 12 gauge, and she could have just snapped. Very sad, but it's true. Could be true, I should say. Let's see here. The only other thing that I ever had wanted to talk about that I never really brought up during the live stream, but it did bug me. Multiple people sent me screenshots of, and I saw for myself, that Chris Proudfoot had some really raunchy looking marks on his arms, on both arms, left and right, same spot, both sides. I don't know what that's from. When I first looked at it, I thought they could have been like bites or something from the animal. I think somewhere down the road, he tried to say that they were from a dog. They're not from dogs, guys. Welcome, Shane. Good to see you. And it's just very weird that he has them. They look fresh. They don't look like they're old scars. They're like, newly made. No, they're not from a Morkeek. There's no way. They're just too small. So most of you guys have seen these. I know you have. But what is that? Okay, and it's just very weird that they appear when this same situation is happening. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a minute here. I know. I've held on to it for a while because I've been waiting to see if it's explained, talked about, in detail. If there was any kind of a real reason given, it hasn't been. So it's one thing I wanted to discuss with you guys because it bothers me. Is it a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences like that. Okay. Hold on a minute. The thing is it's pretty bold to leave him out there. That's the other reason why I was like, well, maybe not. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. I'm going to pull Philip Lacey. Good to see you. Hello, new and welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. Just wanted to let you know that I was a jailer and can't carry a gun in jail, which of course, yeah, I knew that. Law enforcement they put them in their lockers, yes, before entering, only on hospital duty and firearms under lock and key. Absolutely, that's fact. My biological father worked for the sheriff's department, as well as my grandfather and my uncle worked at the jail as well. So yeah, I know how those rules go. But thank you for that, Philip. I appreciate the input very much. So there's also a scratch down by his wrist and a cut on his finger. 100%. What was he doing that caused that? That's my thought. Okay. You know, that were you I don't know. Where are Sebastian puppies? Just like the toy crane bothered me. Right, I get it, Bonnie. I don't know where the puppies are. I mean, it could be Corrito. I don't know for a fact. Yeah, and that's the thing is they saw them both in person. You think they didn't get Chet? Of course, of course. How did you explain them away though? Did you just say that my dogs did this and they let it go? Did they know something? This is why I feel like the law enforcement probably knows something that we don't think they know. Okay. I'll pull these up and show you guys it in a moment here. I'm gonna ask you if you'll excuse me for just a few seconds. I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, yeah, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Stop calling me. Right, I agree. I do agree with that, Gene. That's where I struggle with this at wholeheartedly. Let me ask you a question. You're right, Victoria, but let me ask you a question because I haven't asked you directly. What do you think happened? You specifically, Victoria, what, because I haven't seen you say anything. What do you think happened here with this situation? And I'm not being mean, I'm being wholeheartedly and respectfully. What do you think happened here? Shut up, Cassie. Oh no, that was somebody I pulled off a line, Terry. It does look like that though, doesn't it? No, I know, but as with everything we've talked about, everything you've seen, based on the evidence you've seen, what direction would you go with this? You specifically, in your opinion. I agree with that, Vicky. I think they do know a lot more than we think, that they're holding close to their chest and they're waiting to do what they have to do to build the right case in it per sense, you know, to have enough evidence. But where did he go though? Because nobody's seen him. Nobody. Lured out. Yeah, and I've thought about that too. But again, if that's the case, by who and where did he go? He just disappeared into thin air. It's weird. Don Worley, welcome. That's why they said the dog did not have a scent to the retaining pond. But we listened to the audio as they were talking about it, though, Don. That's a problem. I didn't think they did either until we listened to that audio, and they're in the midst of investigating the scent as it's being followed to the retention pond. So there's live proof that that happened. You know what I mean? That's a good point too, Carito. This is so frustrating to you guys because I just it's so frustrating. Well, she was driving around, Dawn. They have bare footprints that they found in that audio that they were tracking. Max is the canine that they had, tracked and dove right into the water, tracked all the way to the retention pond and then dove in the water. But there was nobody in there when they drained it. And they dove into that pond and there was nobody there. And then they drained it and there was nothing but mud. May Z, welcome. Good to see you. This is frustrating. I agree with that too. And I said that, so did Cletus in the beginning. I think the interview should have never been done. They should have stayed quiet and just let it be what it was. And none of this would have been out there. Nobody'd be looking at them in that way, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Oh, where'd that go? I just saw it. I did listen to it, Victoria. I mean, they're two completely separate things. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. Maybe he accidentally fell in upon when running away after an altercation. Parents found and didn't want to get in trouble, so they put him somewhere. Allegedly, everything that we're talking about in here, other than the things that are facts, is absolute 100% alleged and pure speculation. So don't worry about that. A large animal could have gotten him. I think they would have found something at this point. 12 gauge. You know, animals have a tendency to like shred things and tear them up pretty bad. So I think they would have found some markings of that. They go, do you want to hear something? Sure, absolutely, Carito. I'm interested in everything and anything that has to do with this that may help possibly find him. Did they take impressions of them? That's a good question, Dawn. I respect that a lot. Like they should have, in my opinion, just to measure and everything. They should have measured it. On the radio, they did ask what size does Sebastan wear, and it came back that he wears size 10. So you know that's something we don't know if they have that in evidence, if they took impressions of the footprints, or what. It's very interesting, though, to think about. Every case is different. That's a good point, Sherry. 100%. You guys like my Trailer Park Boys Cup? I stick my Pepsi when I have them in the freezer to get them slushy and, you know, real slushy like. And sometimes I leave them too long and they freeze solid. So I have to cut the top off the bottle to get this out of the bottom of it. It's kind of very hillbilly, I know, but it is what it is. I don't like to waste things. They said size 10. He's only 5'5". I think they said on the well, during the dispatch call they said 5'5", and then on the missing poster it says 5'5" as well. He's 15 years old, 12 gauge. He's 5'5", 120 pounds. He looks pretty skinny, to be honest with you. Let me see. Yeah, are you sending me something, Carito? Just weird. You believe it's hard. It's hard. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to. I want to believe law enforcement, Don. I really do, because you know we want to trust in our law enforcement, but it's hard to say. Yeah, absolutely. What type of a map and where, Carito or Kirito? Just tell me, because I have multiple maps that are already put out or put up. Just tell me where you want me to go to with the map, and I can pull it up for sure. Why hasn't? And that's my question too. I had a big issue with that, Don. Because we heard from one side of things, EMA said, the director of EMA said that there was nothing. There was no scent that was tracked. They said that was wrong. Then the parents say that there was. Then we hear dispatch clearly stating that it was. So is it because law enforcement doesn't want that out there? Is that why they're denying it? Or is it because, what's the deal with it? Because I'm torn with that completely. I don't understand that situation. It's driving me nuts. I would hope so, Noni, but I don't know. I don't know for a fact if they've checked family members' houses. Some of them they probably can't because they're not local. You know what I mean? I'm sure they could send somebody else to do it. Let me know where you want me to pull a map up at, Credo. If I hadn't been involved in the Susan Smith case, I would not say Katie reminds me of her. Yeah, it does. It does in some senses. I agree with you on that. For sure. 45 miles away from home to a river in the north. I was watching another podcast. They did Spirit Box and what that. Oh, okay. Wait. So you want me to pull up a map of that local area right there? Is that what you were saying? Or 45 miles from the home to a river in the north? Is it Arrowhead Park? Is that what you're saying? Okay, of the area there. Okay. One more. Actually have some maps that Molly sent me and Mama Bear, so give me 1 second here. Oh, before I pull that map up, this was interesting too. I saw this yesterday. I wasn't paying attention to it because I was kind of in a rush when I saw it, and then I looked at it again because this is again something Molly sent to me as well. Give me a moment here, Credo, and I'll pull this map up. 1 second here. These placemats that I thought were super cute. I've been crafting, I've got paint on them, so now they are crafting placemats. So we don't want anything on the table here. Katie's mother's on permanent house arrest. Interesting. So how did visit go? I hope well. Christopher says they went the best they could. It's so hard on her and me both. I know I have to be strong and bear all of it for her. It felt so good just to be able to hold her and be with her again. Finally. Thanks. Thank God for the moment ever chances in our love. I don't know what that even that's strange to me, but so be it. I agree with that too, Molly, for sure. Is Jean back? Is she okay? No, you didn't do anything, Jean. It was an accident. Somebody accidentally bumped it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Okay, let me pull up this map now. Yeah, she's back. Not sure. I'm not sure, Terry. It's interesting though. She said the names are important. What's important in that? Molly says, and it's that Bryant D. Guy and Christopher Proudfoot. And that Bryant Guy is the person that lives in the secondary house that belongs to Katie, from my understanding. I think they do know what is going on, Ellie. That is, and the more they talk, they will. Yeah, I'm with you on that too, Dawn. I feel comfortable saying that. Yeah, Doodlebug dropped her phone, and when she did, she had her finger on something and it slid. So that's what happened, Gene. My apologies. What is said as the comment is whatever. It's the names that I was showing you along with the other pics in that email. Right. No. I saw it. And very good point, Molly. Very good point. The mom's name. Yes. Okay. Now, let's back up here. Yeah, it's another good point too, Don. All right, let me get this map up real quick, guys. Hold on here. I don't even know which one I want. I'll just use Mama Bears. Hold up. Thank you, Brandy. I got your DM too. Where's Mama Bears at? There. Let's back up here. I'll go with this one first. I hope this one's helpful. If not, let me know. I can pull up a different one. Hold on. Okay. All right. There's a map. I got your message, Brandy. Thank you. Carito, there's a map of this whole area here. There's their home. That is the retention pool. And then this is the Willow Boulevard area. And let me know if I need to do anything. Right, Vicky? Yeah, I got it, Brandy. Thank you. I saw it, hon. Thank you very much. Welcome, Kelly A. Oops, sorry. Yes, I got it, Brandy. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I had seen that. I think it was yesterday, but I appreciate you sending me that. No, Molly, it's fine. Cletus pointed out exactly what it was yesterday. No, it was two different. See, that's the problem, Cassie, is they had everything all screwed up. It was two different cents. Okay, so 45 miles away from 45 miles away from home to a river in the north. Where would north be? Well, here's home. So 45 miles to the north would be up this way. It would be up that direction. Um, and Molly's the mapper. Carito, she's probably doing it right now as we speak. Cassie, I got every note you could take if you need it. I figured as much. See, I told you she was doing it. Hold on, guys. I read somewhere that Seth had to go through Chris Proudfoot for any info on Sebastian. Wasn't allowed to talk to Seth instead of KP. Yeah, that's the way it's been happening too, Hazel. And the temperature was 26 degrees, I heard. So would you be out of shoot? No, I agree, Dawn. It's crazy. Let me know when you see what you see, Molly. And let me pull that down for a minute because there's something else I want to look at it while we're waiting. Oh yeah. I'll go back and show you guys that real quick too. 1 second. Oh, we bounced into 7,900. We're actually 7,907. So thank you all very much for that. We did it. That's awesome. All right, hold on. All right, JLR put something new out. I want you guys to see, for those of you that may not have seen it. I've been putting out everything that Jonathan does with this case lately. So let's check this out real quick too.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates back in Florida, back at the JLR Command Center here in the wonderful state of Florida, covering the Sebastan Rogers case. I'm going to share a clip with all of you of a very strange encounter we had in the neighborhood of Katie and Christopher Proudfoot, the same neighborhood where the Proudfoots claim Sebastan Rogers went missing. 15-year-old Sebastan Rogers was reported missing during the early morning hours of February 26, 2024. It's still a mystery. It's been over a month now. He has still not been found. We've been canvassing the neighborhood, looking around the area for Sebastan. We had an encounter the other day, going past the Proudfoot's home, and there was a strange car in the driveway that was pulling out. And then this car chased me around the neighborhood and was stalking my movements until I actually drove up and the car went around me and an individual got out and started taking pictures of me and my license plate. I'm going to show you this encounter and then we will further discuss. Check it out.
By the way, that's an Infinity SUV.
Where's Sebastan? Do you know? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. JLR investigates. We're out here covering the case of missing Sebastan. Do you know where Sebastan is? Hello, sir. I know that you just came out of the Proudfoot's home. Do you know where Sebastan is? All right, so we got some car chasing me, and I'm on a public road. So we'll see. We'll see.
By the way.
So what in the world's going on here? Who is that? Well, my sources tell me those two individuals in the vehicle, one was a female driving, another was a man that got out. Those are Christopher Proudfoot's parents. what were they doing at the house? Considering, ladies and gentlemen, that the Proudfoots have more or less claimed they fled their home while Sebastan is missing. What are they doing there? Well, that encounter, ladies and gentlemen, we reported it to the TBI, because anything that you see suspicious, you should report to the TBI. If you see something, say something. And it was definitely odd that the parents were there when the Proudfoots were not. Were they instructed to go there by the Proudfoots, who I believe are prime suspects in the disappearance of Sebastan? Were they there on their own initiative? Were they there looking for the Proudfoots and couldn't find, Christopher and Katie, and couldn't find them? Very strange, but other people also claim those two individuals in that vehicle has also chased them around the neighborhood and followed them. You can almost say stalked them. It's weird stuff going on in reference to the Proudfoots and their behavior. Are the parents of Christopher Proudfoot in support of Katie and Christopher? Looks like they are. Now, we haven't heard much, ladies and gentlemen, on Katie's side of the family. Katie's side of the family, no one really knows anything about. They haven't spoke out in defense of Katie at all. My sources told me that Katie, her mom, and people on her side of the family in Virginia have been in big trouble with the law. Lots of criminal charges, some very egregious charges. We're going to do another report on that aspect of the case and why the Katie side of the family, the Payne side of the family, are not publicly supporting Katie. Who's supporting the Proudfoots out there? Does anyone out there feel like the Proudfoots are not involved with the disappearance of Sebastan? Because it seems like 99.9% of the internet feel they are. What's your take? We are covering this case at all angles extensively. I'll be monitoring the situation, and if anything new develops or breaks, I will share with all of you. Boots on the ground there, and I was able to establish connections with people like the neighbors of the Proudfoots, who I communicate with, former associates of the Proudfoots, who I communicate with, community members who I now communicate with. And they, I built a network to be able to understand and moving forward, see what develops out of this case. Hopefully, authorities, provide some updates and find Sebastan. We hope Sebastan is alive, of course, always. I'm not necessarily sure he's alive, but you never give up hope. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button. Beautiful.
So, it's interesting. I don't know what they're doing. My understanding is that Katie's home now. So maybe they're staying there with her while Chris is out of town working. Maybe they were just, house sitting. I'm sure it was something innocent in that sense. So that's JLR 12 gauge. Jonathan Lee Ritchie's. He has another channel. Excuse me. That could be what it is. Why did they follow him though? And are they taking pictures of him because of what he's doing over there? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's boots on the ground. He's trying to figure things out, and he was, looking in with the search parties at one point the other day. I got to give him props for that for sure, 100%. So I don't care about your Florida. I'm still in my crappy Ohio. So, and that's the thing. We are all on the same side. That's a big point there, Noel. We got to keep that in mind. Well, he did do that, Victoria. He actually did that with some other creators too. I do believe that Sherry's right, though. I think he can teleport because he gets all over this country in like no time. Welcome, YouTube police. New here, not familiar with the topic. I am a content creator, so please don't ban me for saying hello and asking what's going on. Welcome. We're just talking about the Sebastan Rogers case. Miss, sir or ma'am, I don't know what you are. I don't want to be disrespectful, but Welcome and thank you for stopping by. Go ahead, Cassie, no problem. Yeah, of course you can, Credo. So Molly states that those coordinates took her to Trammell Creek, and she's looking for a river, and it was checking to see if it was exact due north. Yeah, I agree, Party of Five. I agree with that too, Steve. And then Molly says again, Castellian Springs, Tennessee. Is by the river. Thank you, Molly. The box also said Lebanon and Pinhook. Never heard of either place. I don't know if you're familiar, Molly. The channel name doesn't lend itself toward identifying me as a man or a woman. I am a man. Found this on home screen under lives. Okay, thank you. And I don't care about that. I didn't want to say, I didn't want to be wrong saying yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, not knowing which one you were. So that's all. Oh yeah, it's a missing child, 15-year-old child out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. He's been missing for a month as of the 26th. His name is Sebastian Rogers, and we were doing everything we can to keep his case hot and keep his name out there until they can find him. That's what we're talking about. No worries. Again, thank you for choosing to stop by here. I appreciate you. Thank you for that, Doodlebug. It looks like Noel was granted that membership. I appreciate that very much, Doodle. Thank you, and welcome to the sauce, Noel. Welcome to the family. That's so awesome. Yes, thank you again, Doodle. God bless. Well, hold on a minute here. Give me a second. I did want to show you guys that one other thing. I gotta find it real quick. Again, because I have so much stuff in here. Hold on. Where's my Molly at? There she is. Let me back up here. I think it's in here somewhere. Almost there, guys. Hold on. I'll find it. Give me 1 second. Hold up. We're getting there. Well, who sent me that? Darn it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There they are. Okay. Now, hold on a minute here. Miss Sherry became a member again. That's awesome. Congrats, Miss Sherry, and welcome back to the sauce. These were sent to me a while back, and that's what I've been sitting here looking at these. It's hard to see in some senses, but really not in others. These are Chris's arms. Okay. Both arms. There's these gougy like scratches all over his arms on both sides of his arms. And I was just like, what in the hell is that from? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if all of you guys saw these. It's still a long way from more horrific things still. Congrats again, Sherry, and thanks for staying part of this community. We do appreciate you very, very much. Mississippi YouTube Police says, awesome. No, 12 gauge, he has not. According to the family, he has never done this before. It's okay. No worries, YouTube police. Yeah, definitely, Dane. That was my thought too. They look like they could be fingernail like scratches, but they're pretty nasty. You see the curvature of them. Okay. That's my thought on that. The only other thing somebody said to me, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. Hold on here. Let me see if it's still. What the hell? Hold on a minute, guys. I'll find it. Un moment. Somebody told me to go back and look. When I saw those, they said, go back and look at a picture of Sebastan and his teeth, and said that he was a biter and all these things. And I was like, I can't go with that. I can't at this moment. So they definitely do look like fingernail marks. I'm telling you, they do. They're not. My understanding was that it was blamed on. He's got Morkies as dogs. My understanding is that's what it was blamed on. I don't believe that. It doesn't look like to me. Ever. Sorry, but never. Absolutely, 12 gauge. I appreciate it. I would love to join you as well one of these days, sir. So good luck with your class, sir, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to be coming to a close here in a moment anyway. Yeah. Chris himself had stated that they came from the dog. They have 2 Morkies. Those do not look like dog bites to me, you guys. Those are crazy. On both arms? And they're in the same spots. Did you just sit there and let the dog gnaw on your arm? Like what? Even cat scratches, I think, are a little bit. Those look deep, guys. They look deep. They look infected too. I agree with you, Pamela. That doesn't look like any form of dog bite scratches or anything I've ever seen. Really appreciate you, 12 gauge, coming through and hanging out. It was wonderful to have you, sir. Okay, I can jump in there probably. Tracy, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, those dogs are little. They're little dogs. That's what I said, YouTube police. They look curved, you guys, like a nail curve, okay? Yeah, and that's what I said. Why would he wear short sleeves? That's a little crazy, Kim. Deep scratch. You know how somebody digs their nails into your skin or into your arms or your hands? That's what it looked like to me. 100%. It's just those are bugging me. They've been bugging me, and they're all red. It goes all the way up. What the hell were you doing, dude? I don't get it. Carito, there's your coordinates. put your fingers like you're going to grab someone's arm. Right, Michelle. That's kind of what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. In fact, I tried it on myself. I had my wife try it on my arm, and they come up looking almost the same. I mean, she didn't go as deep as those, but, you know, I don't know what people's fingernails look like in that household, so we don't know. That is the biggest part of it right there. Nothing is fact except the fact that we want that child home, period. 100%, Steve. It looks like you got into one hell of a fate with somebody. Molly says the Gasper River in Kentucky. Okay. So where did this come from? With these coordinates and what Carito is telling you to do, Molly? Like what do we got going on here? 100%. I know the police would have saw it, but he said his dogs did this. Okay. If he told them they did it and they want to believe it, what are we supposed to do about that? Nothing. That's what I mean. They're pretty deep. They have a nail, like a fingernail look to me. I've seen it done. It's interesting, Molly. Thank you for doing that, and hold on to that info. Very good point. Very good point, sir. From the spirit box video. I got you. Okay. Right. Absolutely, Miss Brandy. Absolutely. Yeah, that could be almost like a bite mark right there. Very well could be. See, that's what I keep going back to the fingernail indentations too. Some people have said teeth marks. Some people have said finger. It's clearly fingernails. So it could be either one. Yeah, I would think that marks like that would have came from quite a bit bigger dog than what they have. Okay. They absolutely could. I'm sure they have to get a warrant for that. And who's to say that they haven't done that yet either, Josie? That's the thing. You know what I mean? Doodle. That's again my same questions, Gene. I would think they would. I really would think they would. Yeah, they have the curvature like a nail would. Okay. That's my opinion. Yeah, it's true too, Jody. That's a good point. So, all right, you awesome, amazing people. Again, I thank you guys for joining me today for this. As we continuously, daily, every day, put the word out and keep the word out about this missing, amazing, awesome child that we need to keep putting out there. I consider everybody that does this part of what I call Sebastian's Army until we bring them home. So every one of you guys are a member of that group. And I appreciate you all supporting this as we try to find this child and bring him home. That's a good question, Michelle. I don't know where the dogs are. I haven't heard. From my understanding, they're still at home. And that's the truth right there. In the USA, there's a thing called innocent until proven guilty, which we advocate for always. Even if they think he did it, they would be foolish to arrest him until they have an ironclad case. Bingo. There you go. There's got to be things proven. Hey, Zelda, good to see you back in here. So Again, I want to thank that's what I was going to say too. They would be more of a puncture. I would think.
Wow, you're still talking.
Okay.
Wow.
It
That's
didn't work.
amazing.
It didn't work. I'm about done. I am done, actually. I was saying goodbye to everybody. See how she skips out until I'm done with the show, then she wants to come back in? Yeah, on purpose, guys.
Hi. I think my vacation's over though.
Why?
One of the girls just sent me a message that she's in the ICU.
What for now?
Possible stroke.
Good Lord.
I
Well,
know, Molly, I know.
I'm sad to hear that. That's horrible, but you can't catch a break, can you?
I really can't.
Good God.
So I'll just have to keep you guys posted.
Well, I mean, with that going down, it'd probably be better off to close the store temporarily until you know she's okay.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's horrible.
Praying Paula, my boss, and my friend.
I hope she's okay. I hope it's not what,
Well, she sent me. Didn't we talk? Yeah. She sent me a message earlier
Yeah.
today. She said, "Make sure you answer my messages. My face is numb, and I can." And then that was the last I heard. And then somebody sent me a message on Messenger a while ago, or not somebody, but one of the other girls.
Yeah.
And said that. Let's see, where's it at? Darn it. Anyway, that she was in the ICU. Let's see.
Well, I hope
Him's
to
at
God.
ICU getting evaluated. Possible stroke. We'll know more tomorrow.
No, I hope it wasn't a stroke. For
But
sure.
if she's already at the ICU, that's not good though.
Well, if she's in ICU, that's more than an evaluation. They've admitted her to ICU because that's a serious condition.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So I'll be praying. I hope that it wasn't that.
Nice.
And I hope she gets better. I'm sorry that your vacation's probably over, but
Probably over. We'll see.
bad news, bad news, bad news. Sorry to hear that. I hope she's okay. Like I said, I'll say a little extra prayer and keep her in my thoughts, and you as well, because she's your friend.
Yep. Thanks.
So, I just pulled up those pictures of the scratches or whatever those are on Chris' arms, and everybody seems to feel the same, that they look like nail marks. A few people said they could be teeth marks, things
They
like
got that curve to them like nails.
That's what I said. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for today. I might be back in here later on tonight. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate you all joining me, Mama Bear. Thank you for being here while you were here. Appreciate that very much.
Of course.
I hope everything works out with Kim, and maybe it's not that serious. I hope it's not that serious. Enjoy the rest of your day, Mama Bear, and I will talk to you soon.
Yep.
And everybody else in here, guys, I appreciate you so very much for supporting us as we look for Sebastan and try to bring him home. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you all. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And please don't change a thing about yourselves, because you are the beautiful people. You guys make this happen. Again, thank you to anybody that has donated to support the channel. You are appreciated moderators. You are amazing. I could not do this without you or the bear, of course. And God bless each and every single one of you guys. I will see you very soon. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. I will see you maybe later tonight. We'll see. Depends on how late he goes. And if not, maybe fingers crossed, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.